Wow, being in a realm of nothing means you do nothing? That's kind of...
Not true. She kept beating up shadows, so she got bored.
She also hallucinated and had PTSD.
Yeah, and then Xehanort NTR'd her, and now she's Zaya Aqua, or the fuck they call her, Aquanort.
Aquanort. Why does it start with Kingdom Hearts? I fucking hate Kingdom Hearts.
You cut this out. You don't know where it's gonna start. Me and Seth talked for like 5 minutes, and he decided to start on gay sex.
I thought it was the funniest part of the podcast.
I think you're funny, Seth.
Being gay is pretty funny. That's why I'm hilarious.
That's why I go to LGBT rallies and point and laugh. You think I'm a bigot, but I'm actually just amused.
I've told this to James. I'm a closeted homophobic.
You didn't tell me that. This is a surprise to me. What the fuck?
I swear I've said this in like text before.
Jekrix, I think he's an asshole. And we should.
Well, that's been established.
Listen, we can't have this kind of toxic energy on this show, or we're gonna have to kick you off. Right? I'm already typing out the tweet longer.
What? So instead of being here for the second half, I'm only gonna be here for the first half this time.
Yeah, we're gonna kick you off mid-show.
And then, like, for the third annual episode, we're gonna have me just in the middle.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have you like. We're gonna splice your audio in like in random points, not in like sequential order. It's gonna be really like avant-garde, you know. We're gonna be the David Lynch of podcasts.
I love
non-sequential storytelling.
I will not lie. I do want to like this like a sort of weird editing experience.
Yeah, have this the thing you play where you're like one of those sensory deprivation tanks for like 5 hours on mushrooms. Where you talk about fucking stupid video games.
I hate video games.
Well,
on that note, hello.
Shalom. Welcome to...
Inshallah, my brothers.
You'll ever see the fucking, like, it's the motherfucking Ramadan Charlie Brown?
I'm not familiar with that Charlie Brown special.
Enlighten me.
So there was, like, this website called, like, moslyoffensive.com that did a gag dub of Charlie Brown, but they made them all sound like black people. And in one episode, Charlie Brown converts to Islam, and whenever he answers the call, he goes, "Masalama heka," or something like that. And Peppermint Patty just keeps telling him "yo mama" jokes on the other end.
Damn, Seth, you really are the resident racist.
No, this sounds like something Charles Schultz would write. Charles Schultz is the fucking, like, I think nowadays, because Peanuts has been fucking like sanitized all hell and back, people forget that Charles Schultz is kind of a troll. Like, the guy literally like killed off characters and people said they weren't funny anymore, and he was like, yeah, sure, fuck it. It's like that one infamous letter he wrote to a fan where someone's like, yeah, I think this character's annoying, and he was like, don't worry, I'll take care of her, and then on the bottom is a picture of her with like an axe going through her head.
Oh my goodness.
Charles Schultz is kind of yeah, he's kind of based. Okay, anyways, welcome to the Peanuts podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Brown.
I got a rock.
I'm your therapist, Lucy Van Pelt.
I thought I'm your therapist, Seth.
What's the girl with the glasses called? The one who always says like "sir."
Oh yeah, it's Peppermint Patty's friend. Let me Google that.
I need to consult the Peanuts wiki quick.
Look up the Peanuts lore.
Peanuts lore actually is crazy.
Yeah, her name's Marcy.
There you go, Marcy. Jekrix is Marcy because he wears glasses and also is androgynous.
So true, bestie.
So true.
I'm not even wearing my glasses because the right arm thingy came off.
Last week at work on the last shift, I went to the bathroom and someone left their glasses there and I stole them.
How did they taste?
Delicious.
Yum.
Bathroom stall glasses really do hit the spot. We started this podcast like 5 times already. You want to like introduce ourselves so you get this fucking thing over with?
Yes, this is the goddamn pizza. I mean, fuck, not the pizza. No.
Was that intentional?
I have a bit with one of my friends
Yes.
where like we start calls and I introduce it as the Pizza Party podcast.
Well, guess we're rebranding.
Yeah.
No, that's already a thing. This Pan Peaks' podcast.
Pardon my French. This is the Bean Burrito podcast. I am Salsa Seth.
It's me, your boy. Fuck. Okay, Jekrix, your turn.
I fucking hate burritos.
Do you actually?
And the French.
I'm James Hyphen, and that other one's Jekrix Lokan.
Thank
We
you.
don't talk about him.
No. We tend to relegate him to the back of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. Really homophobic, racist, and
Homophobic. Again.
double homophobic.
Hates twice the gays.
It's efficient, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They come in pairs, so it's just good to be double homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
Efficient, it's cost effective, and it's what we need in this rapidly changing like economical climate.
Everyone should get a double dose of homophobia.
So true. So true. Speaking of homophobia,
No.
what games have y'all been playing on the regular down go?
Games are fucking gay.
They are
Alright.
homophobic.
Yeah. It's been a
Yeah.
whole fucking year since we got around to recording another one of these because somebody was too lazy to edit the last episode. Jekrix.
What do you mean? I'm not lazy. I worked like 5 billion fucking jobs last year.
You did. And now you're working one. So therefore lazy.
And I'm broke. Not really, but still.
SoCal experience.
I hate Southern California.
We gotta move you to North Cal.
You think that's any better? Actually,
Yeah, move you
mate,
to the fucking ocean.
I mean, it's like a 30-minute drive.
To the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay, start driving.
Oh, true. I need to get gas first.
You need to stop saying so true.
Yeah, because you're saying it now.
So true.
So true.
Okay, last year was just my, like, SoCal bitch arc. Really.
Last year, this year too, motherfucker.
This year's only been a month.
And I'm already tired of your bullshit.
You've been tired of it.
Damn right. Look, get your sweet ass over here, baby. Give me a kiss.
The one thing I would.
Seth, you could kiss me too. Don't worry. I know you don't. Don't be jealous.
Ah.
I'm used to being a third wheel. I was a third wheel to everyone when this during like that band trip to Disneyland.
That's just sad.
You were in band?
Yeah, I played trumpet.
Oh, you would be a trumpet
Like,
player.
forget the third wheel thing. You're in band, Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was in marching band for like from 6th grade to 12th grade.
Huh.
And I was the most mediocre trumpet player.
This is why you're so easily picked on. Yeah, this is why you get so easily picked on. You're a fucking band kid.
James, I'm in marching band.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I pick on you too.
That's so true.
Play like the saxophone.
I'm the Giga Chad in this call. I was a fucking chess
Yeah.
player. I worked at the library.
Barry.
Yeah, shut up, fucker.
We could go for the Undertale reference, and you could call it the Librarby.
Look at this fucking moron. He plays quirky indie RPGs about depression.
Don't make references, please. It makes me unhappy.
Jekrix, your favorite fucking game is YiiK. That game's nothing but references. There's a scene in that fucking game where you step outside your house and Aerith from Final Fantasy is mourning over her own fucking grave.
Pardon me!
You go outside and there's a bunch of hooded figures looming over Aerith and she's crying over her grave and it's her own grave.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes me want to play YiiK more or less.
Wait for the 1.5 update. It was
Yeah.
supposed to come out last year, but it didn't.
Yeah, I'd rather they just take their time with it.
No, rush it. I need my content.
Dude, YiiK was rushed.
No, it wasn't. It was.
YiiK was unfinished.
You're unfinished.
I know. That's irrelevant.
Dissolves into the primordial ooze. Are we supposed to be talking about video games or something?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay. Let's talk about movies and shows we watch. Seth, I know you've watched a couple stuff.
We were talking about like bathroom mirrors earlier, but like that like reminded me. In the first Rocky, he goes like to like his local tavern to meet his friend Polly, and in the bathroom, Polly's like complaining about how someone smashed up the mirror. But I realized they got rid of the mirror because if it was there, you'd see all the camera equipment and crew. So they got rid of it and had the characters acknowledge that the mirror was gone.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Cute.
Rocky's really fucking good. It's
Never seen it.
on Netflix right now.
You think I own streaming service subscriptions?
Pirate it, retard.
Everyone has Netflix, Jekrix. It came free with your fucking Xbox.
You think I have an Xbox?
Yes, maybe.
I do have a 360.
There you go.
It is like one of those movies that, for a first, and to be on a second viewing, you need like subtitles on, because not only you got like Sylvester Stallone going like, oh yeah, you know, we gotta go get the soul survivor and shit like that. You also have like the sound recording wasn't too great, so it's like sometimes characters like sound indistinct.
Do you not watch movies with subtitles?
Indistinct Stallone noises incoming.
I need subtitles all the time.
I like. Wait, did y'all not hear any of that Stallone stuff?
What?
I sometimes watch movies with subtitles. Usually when I can't like understand what they're saying. Like when me and my dad watched The Northman, I was like, yeah, let's put subtitles on. I can't understand the Scandinavians.
That reminds me for fucking the new Puss in Boots movie. Whenever they speak Spanish, instead of actually writing out what they're saying in Spanish or like translating it, the subtitles just say like
Speaks in Spanish?
brackets in Spanish or speaking Spanish. It's like, oh great, thanks for not actually fucking writing the subtitles out, you fucking morons.
Not even writing it in Spanish.
Yeah, especially even worse when they like interchangeably speak English and Spanish. Mm-hmm. So you just have like half the subtitles written out. But you know, if there's people who actually need to subtitles to like understand what's going on, because like hard of hearing, you kind of just fuck them over.
Yeah.
Or if like I think they're subtitling in the perspective of someone who only speaks English, but like if someone does speak both languages, then but they can't actually properly hear it, it'd be nice to still at least write the Spanish words in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
If someone speaks English, it's still beneficial to write it out, because then you could like still read it and like maybe half get it.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, translate it, which I know is more effort, but like if you're gonna subtitle it, maybe put in the effort, because it's a fucking paid job. Maybe
they have the script.
Yeah, they literally have the fucking script.
I read somewhere that on Tumblr, mind you, that subtitling is like a contract work that people do, and often it's like the last resort that they have to do, like to put for Spanish dialogue, they'll just put speaking Spanish, because unless they're like 100% accurate, they'll get like their payment docked, and the subtitlers might not speak in like Spanish at all.
That's actually fair, because like I know like at the ends of like episodes or shows on streaming services, if you watch with subtitles, they'll say subtitled by this company or whatever.
Yeah. The lesson learned,
fuck white people, fuck sickos.
So true. So true.
You wish, Seth.
What movies have y'all been watching lately? Like, I guess you just watched that Puss in Boots movie, James.
It's pretty good. I know everyone's been going crazy about it, but it is pretty good.
That actually surprised me. Because I like the first Puss in Boots movie. I thought, it's fine. But, like, that...
It's definitely a kid's movie. It's better than, like, the last two Shrek films, but that's not saying much. The egg character is weird. Everyone's pointing it out. He looks ostensibly like hideous, but other than that,
Puss in Boots.
Thank you for putting his face in chat, Seth. You jackass.
Isn't the new one like a very post Spider-Verse movie?
Yes, it's animated in like low frame rate, especially during the action scenes. I mean, I don't want to like talk about it too much because it's really spoily, but yeah, it's just a really well animated movie with good action, surprisingly good emotional scenes. Like, it's just well written. They took the character of Puss in Boots in an interesting direction, and I'm interested to see what DreamWorks has to release after this. It's interesting that the last two DreamWorks films outperformed the last two Disney Pixar films, like, theatrically.
What were the last two Pixar films?
There was that one Disney film that came to like theaters and it was like straight to like streaming that no one watched because they didn't advertise it. I forget what it's called. Because again, they didn't advertise it at all. And then what was the last Pixar? Lightyear.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, the last two DreamWorks films outperformed the last two Disney animated films, which is crazy. That hasn't happened in like years since since Shrek. So hey, maybe we're in the next DreamWorks renaissance, which is good.
I mean, wasn't there that one movie? It was like a Pixar movie. I think it was like Onward, where it had a gay character and Disney didn't advertise it.
Oh yeah.
They advertised that more than this one.
Oh.
Again, movie which has no title because they can't remember it because he never fucking advertised it.
Soul?
Therefore, there was never any buzz.
I wanted to see Soul. That's one I wanted to see, but I never did.
There's that fucking Elemental movie they keep teasing, and it literally looks like shit. Like, not like plot-wise, like the animation actually looks fucking terrible. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Like, the designs work really well in 2D when you show off the concept art, but when it's like in 3D and like hyper-realistic, it looks so fucking terrible.
Hyper-realistic water.
I have no idea what the fuck they're smoking over there. What were they? How many beers did they drink when they did this? 2?
It's like all of those
lightweights.
All those people who like made the Pixar shorts were like two pieces of toilet paper fall in love. They like came together and made Elemental.
It's like that fucking Simpsons bit where we made like a fake Pixar film like for like a film festival, and it's like what if grocery foods had feelings in it? It's like that shit. It's just like they're really stretching it out.
Isn't that just Sausage Party?
You know you're fucking like stretch for content when fucking like this content's been done better in a fucking Cool Maths Games like video game.
That said, Turning Red was pretty good. Check that out.
It was alright, yeah.
I've heard it's pretty good, and people just didn't like it because they didn't like it.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like, it wasn't...
Because it's missing references to something from the year prior.
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about that? Fuck the actual movie. Can you talk about how when you type in Turning Red on any like search engine, one of the first automatic fills is Turning Red 9/11. God bless Mr. Enter.
Dude, on TV they had the Pentagon! They had the fucking Pentagon!
May, you get out of that tiny little plane this instant, young lady. Anyways, watch Turning Red on Disney Plus.
So, donate to Mr. Enter's Patreon.
Maybe he'll actually animate that fucking cartoon he's been promising.
Maybe. This is somewhat of a tangent, but I know he's been doing like. Actually, you know what? I don't think Mr. Enter deserves as much of the hate he's gotten. Like I guess like for some of that like pilot stuff, like because he doesn't release it, or if it's like it's pretty terrible, like whatever. But like back in the day when he was just like shitting on cartoons and people just hated him, it was like go outside. Like I don't know, like it's I don't care about
whenever
Mr.
I
Enter,
see
but,
anything
like,
on the internet.
Yeah.
Grassless motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's the fucking like low tier god copy pasta, but it's just like you should treat yourself now. You should go breathe in some oxygen from the ozone layer. So what are you here for? To worship yourself? Treat yourself, and I mean that 100%, 1000%.
What's your god's the one that like he'll like exit matches if he's losing, and then when his account gets banned, he'll start like a new one up on PSN.
I think so. He's also the one who goes on like long, vividly detailed tangents about all the gay sex he totally doesn't want to have. Like there's this clip where he goes on like he describes this very long and graphic detail about him tying someone down and like throat fucking him in front of his friend. This was like, haha, not gay though, teehee.
Oh god.
There's that one fucking edit that I love. You know Reggie the Rat, right? That fucking like porn thing of the like
What?
twink rat.
Oh yeah.
There's this one animation where it's Reggie dancing to that one song. I forget it's called like boom 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 boom. I wanna go boom boom.
Yeah.
This one edited low tier god dancing in front of it. It's just like kill yourself now. You should kill yourself now. Your life serves zero purpose. You're worth absolutely nothing. Kill yourself now. It's so fucking good.
Low tier god is such a character.
He's a high tier. He's a high tier low cal.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you like more? Do you like him or Wings of Redemption more?
I don't like Wings of Redemption. Wings of Redemption's fucking pathetic. He's actually like a sad sack with no redeeming qualities. DSP and Low Tier God though, those are fucking entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Unironically, I don't know what, but I would actually like to collaborate with DSP on something.
Honestly, because he's awesome. That man fails upwards. I will never stop talking about the fact that the man was like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, went to go talk with like the bank with his lawyer, convinced him that buying a PS4 was a business expense, and then was cleared of all his debt, everything, for the past like 2 decades.
You gotta hand it to him.
The noose can fall, humanity can crumble, and all that's gonna be left is DSP and 3 cockroaches, and all those 3 cockroaches are gonna rank higher than him in Street Fighter.
True.
Bug nuclear apocalypse mechanics.
What is DSP up to these days?
The same old, same old. You could ask that about him and fucking Wings and low tier. They're all just doing the same thing. You just keep trucking along.
He's got a podcast of his own, the Level 1 podcast.
Let's invite him.
Yeah.
He's level 1 because he keeps rage quitting before he could actually like level up.
Which means he loses to like the slimes outside his house.
What was it? He played like all of Persona 4 and then rage quit like the final boss.
He might have done PS4. I mean P4. Pardon me. For all I know, but the one I know is P3. She was playing on easy mode, and he got killed by the final boss over and over again, and he rage quit.
No, it was P3. It's P3. Yeah. Yeah, he rage quit on the final boss. Like literally, like end right there at the end. You couldn't fucking beat it. He was like, fuck this.
It wasn't that hard.
We're talking about movies, dude. No, we're talking about DSP.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, it's not. Just restart everything. Scrap it. I already paused Audacity 5 times in between this conversation.
I mean, I couldn't contribute anyway, so.
Yeah, me
Just like
and
the first
Seth are over
episode.
here. Yeah, me and Seth over here talking about like stupid fucking morons in the internet. You're over here just like, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm usually the one that talks the least whenever we're in call together.
I actually think listening back to the podcast, I actually think that's me talking the least during it.
I definitely talk the most, which I apologize.
No, I like it. You're funny and awesome. I love you.
If everyone knows, Jekrix is only saying that because we're married. We got married last year. I am his wife and he is my wife.
We are wives.
Very nice.
My
Borat. My wife. Very
Yeah,
nice.
We've had this joke going on for a while, but like we've just drilled it harder in this last year.
Yes, keep quoting
And-
Borat even though I've never watched it and Jekrix hasn't watched it in like a decade.
I watched it, no, more than a decade, because I watched it when I was in elementary school,
Jesus.
and I don't remember it.
Little Babu.
Yeah, it's like a movie you shouldn't watch in elementary school.
Um,
And all you took away for it was my wife.
Yeah, like I
just like the rest
watched
of America.
It's because my mom was borrowing it from her boyfriend, and when she wasn't home, I was home alone. I was like, "What is this movie? Let's pop it in." I watched it. I didn't get anything. My wife is funny.
You want to have a movie night later on and watch Borat?
Jekrix
did-
didn't you
I-
buy Borat
I-
recently?
I found Borat at the thrift store like a week and a half ago.
The actual
so,
Borat, he was standing there.
yeah. I also bought a Pocahontas soundtrack CD at the same time.
Sweet.
So
No, not sweet. The music in that movie sucks.
I just like buying soundtracks. I have the Stuart Little soundtrack.
But isn't that like just pop music? Like,
Yeah, it's just pop music from the time, basically.
it's probably good. Pocahontas' original music is all bad.
Pocahontas is
Jekrix is gonna listen
Not a
to the
good
music,
movie.
to the song where they talk about how all the natives are savages. He's like, yeah, this goes hard.
Jamestown. I love colonization.
My town.
Real.
Jamestown turned into a disaster.
Just like me.
Yeah, that's why James is a disaster.
I'm a disaster artist starring people. Good movie, go watch it.
The Room is pretty good, but I think it's a movie you need to watch with friends because
That sounds about right.
Most bad movies you need to watch with friends. Watching bad movies alone is just like, wow, this is miserable and I'm alone.
a lot of like the most quotable things like happen in like the first half hour.
Yeah, The Room is definitely like, I know it's like the most famous bad movie, but I think it's definitely like low. I think something like Love on a Leash or like Manos the Hands of Fate are more like fun bad movies to watch. Love on a Leash especially, that movie is so fucking bizarre because it's just so incompetently made, and it's just there's so many like intricate things that are like so funny. The fact that the main chick Lisa, everything she wears and everything in her house is green for some reason, for no fucking reason. The fact that the dog and then the dog when it's human are played by two different people, and like
Oh, fuck.
you could tell the person who did the voice for the dog didn't have a script because he's literally just like Mystery Science Theater 3000 over the entire movie. There's a scene where Lisa's like manager or something like breaks into her house, is drunk, and like tries to force himself on her, and then the dog comes in to save her, and then he leaves, and then the guy voicing the dog just starts singing. He's like, "I'm the king of the castle, who's also a dog," while Lisa's on her couch, fetal position, crying because she almost got fucking assaulted. Well, his fucking dog is like, I'm the king of the castle who's also a dog. Also, the entire movie has no music, so this all is silent too.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, I should clarify. The version that's on Amazon Prime and YouTube has no music. For some reason, only the DVD release has music.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime.
I think it's free if you have Amazon Prime. I think it's also just free on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I do have Prime, so.
So yeah, if you guys want to watch a bad movie anytime, I highly recommend Love on the Leash. It's also pretty short. I think it's like less than an hour and a half.
Nice.
We need to watch an extremely goofy movie with me pointing my camera to my small CRT with Spanish subtitles.
Oh yeah, you were on the call when that happened, Seth. But me, Jekrix, and Plate, Jekrix pointed his webcam at his CRT and put on his VHS copy of the Goofy movie. And then he also just had like Spanish subtitles on for some reason. It's what the kiddies like to call aesthetic.
Yeah.
You could barely see it. It was like so blown out on the webcam because I have a shitty webcam.
I mean, I knew what was going on. Also,
Well,
the Goofy
seen the
movie's
movie.
like, yeah, the Goofy movie's like fucking like 2 minutes long. It didn't matter anyways.
Yeah, it's a very I really like Goofy movie.
I always forget how short that movie really is, though.
Both are pretty short, which
Yeah.
I like.
Well, I mean, Extremely Goofy movie was straight to video, no?
It was.
I think so.
Wasn't Goofy movie like actually released in theaters, or
I
was it
believe
like
so.
a TV thing?
I think it was theater. I don't know.
They got Pauly Shore to play one of Max's friends.
Yeah.
I think he's like exclusive to the show. He wasn't like in Goof Troop.
No. The Goof, he probably wasn't in Goof Troop because Goof Troop happens and Max is like a fucking baby or some shit.
Yeah.
Little kid.
Y'all ever played the Goof Troop game on Super Nintendo?
I've seen footage of it. It looks it's just like a co-op like top-down thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a co-op like puzzle adventure thing.
Goof Troop's also like the only like Disney show or Disney thing where Max is like a child, because like nowadays he's just always like portrayed as a teenager
Or older, like what was that one like Mickey Mouse Christmas movie where it's like CG? It was like an anthology thing.
Yeah.
And one of the things was like Max coming home from college or something, and it's just like this little short thing of him, Goofy, and his new girlfriend, who only shows up in this one short and is never acknowledged again, because every time they acknowledge Max in his relationship, it's always with Roxanne, right? That's what the chick is called from the first one.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's always with Roxanne in like other media. This like random chick in all black who kind of looks like vaguely French, and like this one short is only in that one short and never appears again.
Something I do like about like an extremely goofy movie is that they just don't bring up Roxanne, because like he's just moved on from that.
Yeah, he dumped her ass.
Yeah.
Good for Max.
And that there's American Graffiti, which is like all about like a character's arc is about how he like wants to go to college to bang girls, but like he finds like, wait, I can't abandon my girlfriend. Fuck, I'm not going to college.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, American Graffiti, but like you replace it with goofy characters.
Plays to the Goofy.
Every character is goofy. Gore.
Yeah, just like the his old like shorts where there's always Goofy. The Goofy species, wherever you may call it.
Dogs.
No, it's like how in Dragon Ball, like Frieza's race is just referred to as the Frieza race. It's just the goofy people.
There is this Robot Chicken sketch where it's about like Mickey becomes like a bigot towards people who date interspecies dating, because Goofy is going out with Clara Cowbell, and Mickey's like, this is against the eyes of God.
Oh yeah, that was like a weird pairing that only existed in the fucking Three Musketeers movie, and like never brought up again. Maybe it was brought up in like House of Mouse, but other than that, such a weird pairing. I guess because it is like a cow and a dog.
Well, who am I gonna find, Mickey? That's just like me. Oh, there's Pluto. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Damn. Would that be considered Mickey calling Goofy a furry?
Would be the pot calling the kettle black, because Mickey's a mouse as well.
I know, but like, Pluto is a dog, Goofy is a human dog.
Well, being a furry is not about bestiality.
Fucking in like the DuckTales reboot, there's a shot where the kids are feeding like ducks, but like like regular ducks, and then
Oh, but they're all ducks.
yeah, but they're ducks, and then there's this one character who's like, I think they're like an alien or something, and they just kind of, you look at the ducks and you look at the kids, and you have this like confused look on their face, like, wait, hold on a second.
I would really like to watch the DuckTales cartoon. Apparently that one was really good.
I watched
That's pretty
a good.
decent,
I watched
yeah.
a good decent amount, and I didn't. Yeah, I liked it.
There's DuckTales has just been the most consistently good Disney franchise. Both the cartoons are good. All the video games based on it are good. Like, what the fuck, Disney?
They don't want to fuck up their track record. That's why.
It's because they got Scrooge McDuck and he's based.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, even in like Kingdom Hearts, Scrooge is based. He lets you ride on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Huey, Dewey, and Louie are always like item shop. Like for some reason, like here are these 8-year-olds that are running like item shops.
No, it's like Timmy
Scrooge
and
is
Tommy
their uncle.
Nook, how they run like the Nook store. Just teach them while they're young about late stage capitalism.
I can't believe Animal Crossing ripped off DuckTales.
Actually, yeah, the first Animal Crossing came out after DuckTales premiered. And Timmy and Tommy didn't show up until Wild World, didn't they?
Wrong person to ask.
Yeah, also wrong person to ask. I don't play Animal Crossing.
Both of you are stupid, and I will defeat
You don't
both of
play
you.
Animal Crossing.
I've played it more than both of you.
Yes, and
Therefore, I am the expert. Any questions you have, you may ask me now. Go.
how fat is Nook's cock?
Very. Well, no, his
Nice.
cock is small. His balls are huge.
Oh, thank you.
Should I play the series in order? And is playing the N64 game necessary?
Only play the e-reader mini games, and that's it. Now you play that, and then play what the fuck is that shitty board game one on Wii U? Welcome Amiibo or some shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, Amiibo.
Amiibo
Festival.
Party? Festival.
Amiibo Festival, yeah. Just play those two, and you're good. You're golden. And then just watch the Animal Crossing movie.
What?
Do you not know there's an Animal Crossing movie?
No.
Evidently.
Yeah, it was Japan only. That's probably why. Yeah, it was an animated Animal Crossing movie that came out, I think around when City Folk came out. So like the Wii era. The designs for the humans are weird. Like they're not like the standard villager design. It's like this weird like anime version. I don't know how to describe it, but they look kind of weird. But other than that, it's actually a pretty good movie. I mean, it's just like a slice of life movie because Animal Crossing is a slice of life game, but it's pretty good.
By the way,
I would actually recommend. It has a really weird ending though.
How so?
Aliens.
Nice. I love
movie.
Chicken
The
Little.
movie just ends with the main character like getting abducted by aliens and going on a fucking like crazy like trip, and then they just drop her back off. And like, all right, okay, bye.
Can't believe that Animal Crossing has something in common with Silent Hill.
They both have dogs.
Oh,
They both take place in a small, secluded residential area.
No, like,
They
the
both
joke,
have
the joke ending
dog-
in the first Silent Hill is like aliens like landing.
They show up and like gun him down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
He's like, hey, have you guys like seen a little girl around? And they immediately like blast him in the dick.
So, anyways, I started blasting.
It's a show I need to watch. It's Sunny.
Yeah, I could watch a few
Yeah.
episodes. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Fuck the podcast.
Yeah.
The gang goes watch. It's Always Sunny.
Copyright strike moment.
You guys remember back when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, and everyone and their mother had the hots for Raymond?
That was a crazy time. For a brief moment, slave trade in America came back. Raymond in boxes sent shivers across the fucking nation.
I didn't get it.
He had homophobia in his eyes, which is attractive, I guess.
And then it became the cat, right?
Heterochromia. I was thinking of that fucking picture, and it's a cat, and it has heterochromia, and it's like a Snapchat thing, and it says like, he has homophobia in his eyes, heart.
Alright.
But yeah, it was a heterochromic cat that wore a business suit, which automatically made him a Tumblr sexy man.
I see.
Someone like drew like Raymond as like the one slur.
That's cursed.
That sounds accurate.
I mean, you can make your own clothing in that game too. You could feasibly make a one-slur suit for him.
That was something like, that's how I had fun in New Horizons. I was like turning my house into a clothing shop.
A lot of people actually did that. Like they
Yeah,
have like open air like clothing shops or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a stand outside my house where I like pretended to sell clothes.
I mean, you play Animal Crossing however you want, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I didn't really care as much about island decor. Like, that's too big of a space for me, but I like decorating my rooms and stuff.
Oh yeah, I did not give a shit at all about getting my island to the max rating.
That was my brother's territory, so I didn't touch it.
I put a big Godzilla on the beach, and that's as far as I went.
Yeah. All I had was my little corner by the river, and that was good enough for me.
I've never gotten into any Animal Crossing because I've never gotten one myself.
I mean, it's now as good a time as ever to hack your 3DS and play New Leaf, aka the only good one.
Did you know how easy it is to hack your 3DS?
No, I don't. Please tell me.
I don't know, I've never done it.
No,
Me neither.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't. Shut up.
Oh, wait, you said Plate did.
She did. I also did.
Oh.
Plate did too. She's playing SMT4, which is based.
Absolutely
Someone else should
based.
be playing SMT more often. Cough, cough.
you're right. I should.
I'll fuse my stupid demon later.
Do you want to talk about? You want to like bring this back to what we were originally fucking talking about and talk about games we played in the last couple months, a year even?
Yeah, but so who wants to go?
We can go like game with people.
I don't have much to talk about. I was hoping that you two carry it.
Since we
I
were
want to
talking
talk about more what I played this month because I have a lot to talk about in terms of that.
I have very little to talk about in terms of that, but the only thing I have been playing is occasionally Yu-Gi-Oh! This month at least is occasionally Yu-Gi-Oh! SMT, and a little bit of Smash with my friend because we're starting to go to locals again.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, SMT3, this has been a thing for like a year and a half.
I think like 2 years. Yeah. At this point.
Yeah. Because it wasn't right when I played YiiK, but that like when you got me SMT3, I got you YiiK, and then I also bought it for myself.
Because it was on sale for like a couple bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And then I didn't play either of them for a while, and then you just kept pestering me to play SMT3, and then I played YiiK.
Yeah.
And that That was in the podcast last year.
Yeah.
And then I've been putting off SMT3 for like so long, and I've just been dragging it on because I thought it was funny.
You also bought SMT5, which you haven't played.
Yeah. And it also pissed James off that in that time I'd like had played Persona 5 Strikers as well.
Yeah. Then you also play Royal at some point.
Yeah, I played Royal.
I'm less mad at you about Strikers because Strikers actually looks kind of fun.
Yeah, I showed you. It's pretty based. It's pretty unhinged too. But anyway, SMT3, I did try it a while ago, and like I was bored in the beginning at in the hospital. But after you get out of the hospital, it becomes way more interesting. I did the entire hospital section on hard mode. But after I left, I switched it to normal because I learned that you basically cannot run from battles in hard mode. And I don't think SMT3 requires that much grinding compared to like some other games. Despite what people say, if you just fuse decent demons, you're fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, afterwards I was like, oh, this shit is awesome. Like it's a really interesting story. Most of my SMT experience comes from Persona games. Persona is obviously based on the name, like very character driven, but SMT3 isn't very character driven. There's like 4 characters in the game. Mm-hmm. And I'm not counting Demi Fiend because Demi is just there.
And for a purpose, like he literally is just there within the narrative. He's not even supposed to be there. Which I think is pretty interesting, if I can interject. So, I guess to like bring up the plot, you and a couple other people survived the end of the world, and it turns out this is just a thing that happens regularly. Like when the universe comes to an end, it resets, and if there are a few chosen people to find a reason, like their own reason or like their own ideals to reshape the world in their own image to make a new universe, and then that plays out until that universe inevitably ends, and then the cycle repeats. Like the game, like it's all about like cycles and this stuff. And so the Demi Fiend, before he becomes like half demon, gets caught up, and he becomes a Demi Fiend because Lucifer shoves a worm up his nose or something. As you do, and because he's neither human nor demon, he's like this weird fucking half abomination. He can't have a reason. Like he has the strength, but he can't like have a reason because he's not fully human.
Yeah, he has strength because I pumped him full of steroids. And yeah, he only has strength in his stats. So
what he's left to do in this world is just be a pawn to whatever human finds their reason and is strong enough to make it so it reshapes the universe. And I think Nocturne, I think the Maniacs re-release, which is what most people know because it's what got ported to the West, does a really interesting thing with that in terms of like the story. Because the Maniacs version, which when you play True Demon, is basically Demi Fiend going, you know what, fuck this, like, if I don't have a reason, then I'm just gonna blow up the whole universe, like, end the cycle, and just, like, kill God.
Well, I haven't gotten there, thanks, James.
It's literally everything everyone knows about SMT3 Nocturne, the fucking one more God rejected meme.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could choose a reason. Like, there's, 4. Yeah, there's 4 reasons. A lot of people will say that SMT3 has no story, but I think it's just a very understated story.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, there are only a few cutscenes where, like, the story technically progresses, and, like, every other person who survived, like, the apocalypse is basically going on a similar journey as you are, but you're just not seeing it. It's just, like, the few moments where your paths cross and you see how they're going about like the end of the world and what they've like taken away from the whole experience, and then from those encounters you decide who has the stronger reason and to like reshape the universe. Or if you don't like any of them, you can just kill God. Teehee.
Yeah, one of their reasons is to shape the world into denim.
Yeah, into denim. Yeah, because she's all denim. She got the jerk, the job, the jutes, the whole fit.
The dress, well, dress with a J.
But yeah,
I don't have the body type to pull off denim, but I just tell those people to puck down.
that's the worm in your brain. Yeah, I am the bug inside you, as the song says.
And even from a gameplay standpoint, at first I was like, the press turn system, is like, okay, I don't find it like that special. It's cool and all. What makes it stand out from how the turn system in the Persona series works, instead of one more, is mainly that you can pass your turns to your party members, and so it makes skills such as focus really a lot more interesting, because in Persona you have to wait a full round because focus uses up your turn and you're not going to be able to use your focus in that same round. Well, you can in Persona 5 actually with the baton pass, but in 3 and 4 you can't. And so when you use focus, you're basically waiting a whole turn, but in SMT3 you can use focus in the same round as you pull the attack, which I just find like way more interesting, because you have to figure out how to utilize weaknesses or pass turns properly to still utilize those turns and to get the buffed attack at the same time. And I also like how status buffs are like way more prominent than compared to the Persona games, because they're permanent and they stack. In Persona they're not permanent, but they only last 3 turns, and but they don't stack. It takes a bit to click with it, but once you do, especially once you get to the Matador fight, I think like, yeah, this shit slaps.
Yeah, Matador is like the scrub check. Like if you get to that point and you get bodied and you just quit from there, that's the game basically like, okay, like if you don't vibe with this, like this is where you stop. But if you like,
yeah, because the Matador fight was basically what taught me that things stack, because one of the first things he does is buff his stats, and it says increased by 4 stages. I was like, oh, it actually stacks. I thought the enemies were just doing that for shits and giggles.
yeah, he like buffs himself and then hits you with like 17 AoE attacks, and then like most of them are probably gonna be weak. Your demons are probably gonna be weak too, and then he just bodies your ass, and it's just like, oh, this game this game is hard.
Yeah, I like it forced me to actually like engage with its mechanics a lot more, using like, I was already using buffs, but I wasn't like using them every single turn and to the degree that I should have been. And focus is so broken.
Yeah,
honestly,
like from Matador onwards, that's when the game becomes a lot more like mechanically focused, and
yeah,
it becomes a lot more interesting. Also, like I think SMT3's strongest standpoint is the atmosphere in that game is fucking immaculate.
I love it.
Like the dungeon and world design to the fucking music is so fucking good.
The demons say ass, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
They say
like,
shit.
The writing, they do. The writing is unhinged.
I mean, yeah, because they're demons. It should be unhinged.
I've only played the Persona games. Are there any girls you can date in this SMT3?
Yeah, Pixie. Does not even a joke. Does not even a joke. Pixie's just like your ride or die waifu.
I fused her off, so apparently.
But yeah, if you're a dumbass like Jekrix, yeah, you could do that. But like, if you keep Pixie, you actually get a good benefit from it, and it's encouraged to do so. And also,
I'm guessing she evolves, right? I didn't know about evolution till later.
Well, not evolving. It's actually the opposite. You don't want to evolve her. You want to keep her a pixie, and then you get something broken out of it if you keep her for that long.
My second playthrough, I'll go simp mode.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why, like, literally in every iteration of Demi-Fiend where he appears like as a boss, he always has Pixie with him.
Yeah.
Like, he'll have, like, all these other broken-ass high-level demons, and then he just has Pixie. in Digital Devil Saga, which is one of the other really good PS2 SMT games.
Yeah.
Which there are a lot of SMT popped off on the PS2. They had 3 and 4. They had the Rhino duology. They had the Devil Saga duology, and they had SMT 3. Like they really fucking. It's just a lot of good games in that system. But anyways,
It's also when Persona got good.
yeah. Anyways, in the first Digital Devil Saga game, Demi-Fiend is like a super boss, and he summons a bunch of demons. Pixie's one of them. And if you KO Pixie early, Demi-Fiend goes enraged, and he'll one-shot your entire party.
That
like-
is awesome.
That's what
Yeah.
happens when you mess with his big titty goth GF.
She's not even big titty. She's very tiny. In fact, she's a fucking 2 inches tall.
Yeah, and did I stutter?
So
I actually
so,
did stutter when saying that though.
So SMT3 is like Berserk if Guts like decided to date Puck.
That means nothing
it's like,
to
it's
me.
like Berserk if Guts actually gave in to despair, but he's still pretty cool about it.
But yeah, the only reason I stopped playing SMT3 is because I was going hard strength build.
Which
Because
you
I didn't
should,
see-
because it's the best build.
I didn't really like, because MP is kind of harder to come by. I feel like.
Yeah.
In general, the game limits your resources compared to the Persona series. Like the compendium is stupid expensive in this game compared to Persona. All the Magatama that you can purchase are really expensive too. Oh, actually, side tangent. I really like that there's only one thing to equip in this game. I don't find equipment a very interesting mechanic.
Most RPGs don't know how to handle equipment well.
I think the only games I can think of that made equipment interesting is Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 with its abilities on the Keyblades, but all the other equipment is trash and boring. SMT3 with the Magatama and Final Fantasy 9 with the abilities on the
I'll
weapons there.
interject and say the first 2 Paper Marios with the badge system is also really good.
I've yet to play it, so I don't know.
I think you'd really enjoy Paper Mario, especially. I think you really enjoy like a danger strat with that game too. It's like always low health, for like maximum power.
That sounds like something I would like. The game limits your resources a lot more, and I tend to find that I like games that limit your resources a lot because it forces you to actually like interact with its mechanics way more, and get a lot better at it.
You would fucking love Resident Evil.
I like Resi 4, and I like Resi 2 Remake. That's about the only ones I've actually played. Like played.
Same,
I've-
actually.
I've dabbled in the others.
Besides one that I will talk about momentarily.
I had a point to what I was saying about SMT3. Oh, I was saying why I stopped because I was going hard strength build, and I'm currently at a boss who's immune to physical attacks. My entire team is all physical, so
Hit the books.
like I have money, and with the labyrinth, I can just dive in the second one to get money really fast as well because I get like 450 Maka per dive, which is it's a pretty fast rate, and it only takes like I timed it was like 20 or 30 seconds, which is pretty fast. But I just don't feel like fusing something.
I mean, like, this is like hindsight talking, but generally it's always pretty good to always have like a couple magic demons in your stock.
My party, I've been keeping it incredibly small. I've only had I've had the 3 main party members, 1 in reserve and 1 that I specifically use for world skills, damage floors, etc.
The easy grind strat is to like recruit a bunch of low demons and then grind them for a bit and then use
and then use those to fuse and then
use the EXP thing on the full. It's like the full Kagetsuchi, right? Where it's like when you sacrifice a demon, you get
you
the
get
demon
bonuses,
EXP on a
and you
1.5
can-
multiplier.
Yeah,
So
and also
have
you
like
can like
you have
sack
the
them
demons
for
you want to
skills.
fuse. Yeah, you want the demons you want to fuse for like actual fusing, and then you have like the demon that's there for sacrificing. So you like fuse the shitty demons, and then you just keep sacrificing them, so you're constantly getting that 1.5 bonus on EXP, so you get like powerful demons quick.
Yeah,
It takes a bit. It is grinding, but you know, compared to like the alternative where you just grind them regularly, it's pretty fast.
and but the boss I'm on, well, not the boss itself, but like the person behind it, he's one of the mannequins. I think his name's like Saharaki or something. I love his design. It's absolutely awesome. Mannequins are really interesting to me. But that's where I am. I'm in Yoyogi Park right now, and it's pretty fun.
Pretty mouthful, huh?
I'm dyslexic. Shut up.
I thought you were Jekrix.
Are you?
I think yeah, to like some degree. It's not as bad as other people. Like, but I do like can't read, and which is bad.
I just have a slight stutter and a slur.
You are a slur.
Yeah, technically, I'm a couple.
Anyway, that's my spiel on SMT3. It's good. Play it. Raido is cooler than Dante.
Baze. If only they'd fucking re-release the Rival duology, because morons on the internet want to sell you a used copy for like $50 million or something.
Okay, actually, I'm kind of annoyed. So, Persona 5 Royal and the re-releases have all the DLC from base Persona 4. Base Persona 4 Royal, which is mostly just like extra outfits and stuff.
Except Persona 4 Royal.
And
Persona 5 Golden.
And when you wear some of the outfits, like say you wear the Persona 3 outfit or something, then it'll play the battle music from that. For some reason, the Raido outfit is not in the new ports. I cannot fathom why. It's owned by Atlas, but they removed the Raido DLC outfits, and so you don't get any of the Raido music either. And I don't know why.
Actually, which is literally like the Rival duology has some of the best SMT music in the entire series.
I fucking love the Raido.
I will go as far as to say the Rival duology has better music than like Persona 4, which is I think Persona 4 has some fucking bops in there too.
I just for fun listen to some of that 1 hour loop of the Raido battle theme because it goes so hard.
Both the detective agency themes from 1 and 2 are also really good. Yeah. Yeah, Raido's theme goes hard too. Like Go Raido. Anyways, me and Jekrix have gone on about SMT for long enough. Seth, you want to talk about something?
Oh, I really like Persona. I like going out with Makoto. I like going out with Chie and Yukiko.
Fuck Yukiko.
Yeah, Chie is pretty good. I'll give you that.
Chie is good. Yukiko is the worst character in Persona 4.
Chie is by default best girl because Yukiko sucks, Rise sucks, and I will not date Naoto because I am not a homewrecker and I will not take her from Kanji.
No, but if the game let me, I would wholly date Kanji.
I still wouldn't because I wouldn't want to take him from Naoto.
Yeah, that's fair, but Kanji would be mine.
100%, yeah.
Naoto has 2 hands, so does Kanji.
Well, you can't hold Kanji's hands. He always keeps them in his pockets.
Wrists. One of the games that I finished this year, as in like the beginning of the month, was Resident Evil 3, the remake.
Riri 3?
Yeah. I don't think that remake is like terrible. I feel a little more mixed about it than I felt about the 2 remake.
I think a lot of people just don't like the 3 remake because the expectations set from the 2 remake were too high.
Also, yeah, I think a lot of people didn't like the changes that 3 remake made.
I was okay with some of the changes they made to make it more actiony. Um,
You can dodge.
yeah, the dodge is actually really fucking cool.
I mean, you can dodge in base RE3.
Yeah. They made it easier in the remake.
Yeah, I would assume.
Ironically, despite like him being the only boss in the game, Nemesis, there is not a lot of Nemesis in that game. Nemesis primarily there's only like one section of the game where Nemesis will like chase you throughout the world.
I like to think that like the RE3 devs were like, oh shit, RE2 remake took our Nemesis mechanic. We gotta do something different.
So let's have Nemesis and like let's have him from one section instead of making him scary. Because I'll be honest, I didn't find Nemesis like extremely scary as more than just like an oh shit factor. It's like
Nemesis jump scare.
yeah, like Mr. X was like a shark swimming around the water. Nemesis is like a truck chasing you down the street. That's my best analogy for it. There's like after you get like the power up to get the subway moving in RE3 or something like that. Like that's when he starts chasing you around in the overworld. That's fine. I actually enjoyed that because depending on how many zombies that you took out in the beginning, it could be either pretty easy or it could be like incredibly frustrating because not only do you have zombies to deal with, which are a pain in the ass, you also have Nemesis, who is gunning for your ass. What's interesting about it is that Nemesis is a cocky boy, and he wants to kill like Jill. So if like a zombie's like about to like gnaw into Jill, he'll like deck that zombie and kill it, so he could get the chance to kill Jill. I really like the first section, but I feel that it really you have to sort of like know things in hindsight if you want to clean it out of all the items and shit. It also you also have to know that like I guess you don't have to, but like it's also the only part of the game where you can fully upgrade your pistol, because if you knock Nemesis out, you'll get like an upgrade to your pistol, like a laser sight, an expanded mag, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that was in the original game. But after like that initial section and a little bit after the sewers make a return. He chases you with a rocket launcher for a little bit, and then like you go up to the first boss fight with him on like the top of a construction building where he has like a flamethrower. Nemesis is fine. I find him a better boss battle than I do as a Mr. X character.
Nemi Wemi is cute.
Mm-hmm. I kind of dislike how he mutates throughout the game, because then it's just like is this weird like dog that's chasing you instead of just like a guy in a leather suit.
What's the dog doing?
What the dog doing?
Oh, it's
Woof,
infecting
woof.
me with the T virus. That's what the dog's
the dog
doing.
has rabies.
Looks like you gotta take old Nemi in the back of the shed and pull him down.
with the goddamn railgun.
Yeah, that fucking like hyper like beam that you get in that one section.
Yeah. And Jill's like, learn to take a hint.
Yeah, just die already.
I'm kind of conflicted on what I would consider the best part of the game. It's either like the part where Jill's like running through the streets trying to get the sewer, like trying to get the subway up and running. It's either that or the hospital, because I think the hospital is actually really creepy on your first run, because that's when they have hunters, and I was like expecting hunters to show up all the fucking time, and I was on edge throughout it. What really holds that section back is at the very end, where you're just fighting a whole barrage of zombies. It's like a tower defense game, where like you're trying to stop them from getting into the room with Jill, and
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like the end section is just like a horde mode for some reason.
yeah, I wasn't fond of that, especially if you run out of ammo for your like semi-automatic gun, and then a fucking hunter shows up, and I hate it. Other than that, and then like the little bit of exploring that Jill does to basically get the last of the items, it's fine. And even though the lab section was also like okay, I kind of hate the palehead zombies because they're like these zombies with like ultra thick armor, and if you don't know that you're supposed to like pop them in the head, like wrap them in succession with a shotgun, you just waste a bunch of ammo on them. And I guess the last nemesis boss battle, which just takes place in like the disposal arena, is pretty cool. Carlos tries melting Nemesis down.
I don't know why disposal arena sounds funny to me, but I'm just imagining like a sewer with a bunch of like a wrestling cage in a sewer for some reason.
Jill takes Nemesis until fucking WrestleMania.
Like very specifically, you guys know the game Bully?
Yeah.
Yes.
The first boss fight is against Russell, and it's in like a sewer arena thing. And I'm specifically thinking of there for some reason.
I think the kids from Bully could solo Nemesis.
Honestly,
If you want to like power scale that kid with Nemesis, I'd say he beat him.
Jimmy Hopkins is very powerful.
Yeah, Jimmy is like if you want to use like Dragon Ball power scaling, he's like he's probably like a planet buster, probably like
Yeah.
universe destroyer.
Yeah.
He's also Rockstar's best LGBT rep, and it's sad
Yeah.
because that game was on the fucking PS2.
Yeah.
These boys.
There's like, Bully is my favorite Rockstar game, no contest.
It's pretty good.
I should play it.
I highly recommend.
It's on fucking a lot of shit. No, it's on the fucking Wii.
I don't like the way the modern ports look. I don't think the game looks good with like actual like shadows and lighting and stuff. But the modern ports have extra content. Like they added way more missions and in the winter section, which there wasn't that many missions in. And they added more classes and stuff too. So I like the Wii version because it doesn't have the graphical updates that I don't like, but it still has all the new content. And also, to punch, you actually have to swing the Wiimote and nunchuck in succession, which is really funny.
You know what game also has like that's also like a GTA like that uses emotion controls for like combat on the Wii? The fucking Godfather Wii game, which is surprisingly really good. Like I used to play that game a lot as a kid, and it's really good. It's basically just like the plot of the first Godfather movie, except you're
self-insert, right?
You're a self-insert Joe Schmo who's the best mafio there ever was, and he's best friends with all the main characters from the movie.
And remember all those scenes from the movie? Well, he was in the background
The whole time. It's like it's a quick tangent, but it's like that Yu-Gi-Oh! GBA game. I think it's the Sacred Cards, which is literally just the Battle City plot, except instead of Yugi being the main character, you're just Joe Everyman, who's the best friend of Yugi, who's a way better duelist, and everyone loves him.
This sounds like half of the world plots in Kingdom Hearts. It's like, here's the movie. Also, Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
Then that order specifically. They never say it differently.
Like Leon just show up and be like, Goofy, Donald, Sora.
And Sora goes like, no. Sora, Donald, Goofy.
I remember once, because I had played Kingdom Hearts before I really watched, like, before I had seen anything from the main Disney trio. And there was once where I don't remember what I was watching, but I saw some cartoon clip, and then Mickey said, "I'm Mickey, this is Donald and Goofy." And like, Mickey, Donald, Goofy? I thought it's Mickey and Riku. Like, it sounds weird to not have Sora in that name.
It's not weird to where Mickey isn't talking about the Door of Darkness.
So Jekrix, you were that person who had like played Kingdom Hearts without watching any Disney movies?
Well, I had seen a couple of Disney movies, but I'd played, let's see, I played Kingdom Hearts 1 first. What movies had I seen before playing that? I'd seen Tarzan.
I must say, like this.
I'd
Tarzan,
seen Peter Pan.
Beauty and
I
the
had
Beast
seen Pinocchio.
is in the
two.
first one too. Oh, it's in the first one, right?
No, Beast is in the first one, but the world of Beauty and Beast isn't until 2.
You know what? That fucking counts. Fuck you.
No, I don't think it does, because he's not going through the same...
No, it does. Fuck you. Fuck you. No.
I do generally like how...
I'm the real Kingdom Hearts fan, even though I never played any of the games.
I do generally like how worlds are done in 1 better than most of the worlds in 2 and 3. So, 3 does some of them better, but like when it takes place after the movie, or like if it doesn't just follow the plot of the movie, that's when it's the most interesting.
Yeah.
And 3 is literally just the plot of the movies, but Sora is also there. Except for the Toy Story one, which is the only one I think like deviates the most, right?
Monsters Inc. also deviates pretty well. Frozen sucks.
So true. So true.
Not even talking about the game. That movie isn't that very good. And Frozen 2 is oof.
I've never seen it.
No, a lot of people didn't. It didn't do very well, I think. I could be wrong, but it definitely didn't make as much of a cultural impact as the first one. I was talking about fucking the Godfather game on Wii.
I'm sorry, I keep tying everything back to Kingdom Hearts.
No, I made the tangent, don't worry.
Oh. Well, then I hate you.
That's fair. That game is really good. I'd recommend it. It's it's basically like a GTA like, but you're in like what is it, like 1930s New York.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
And the whole plot of the game is like you're trying to climb it up the ranks of the mafia, and you can like a lot like the main like gameplay loop is you go to like businesses and you fucking like harass the owners to like go under the pay of the mafia, and either like comply, to join you, or you gotta rough them up a little bit for them to join, which involves just beating the shell out of them until they comply. And depending on like how bad, like if you beat them up too much, they won't join. But you gotta find the right sweet spot where you beat them up enough where you get more money than if you wouldn't have. There's also like a weird like RPG-esque mechanic in the game where you level up skills, which involve like combat and like haggling abilities and like the amount of money you make and like all this other shit. It's very interesting.
Socialism.
Also, they're like rival mafias, and they all have like their own bases, and you can like raid them. And if you take them down, then you take down the entire mafia, and then like all their stores are like easy pickings from there.
I love San Andreas.
I think it was like made around San Andreas time. It's a good game, like for like a licensed Wii game. It's pretty good. I'd recommend it. I haven't played it in a while, but I remember it's pretty good.
I do have it on the PS2.
Oh, it was cross-released?
No, Wii version or nothing. You have to experience the motion control combat.
I also have like Scarface for the PS2, which I once tried playing and I was getting into, but I got confused by the drug dealing minigame.
You've never seen drugs? You got scared?
That's a fucking sentence.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know what I meant by that.
have seen drugs before. This will be like a classic Seth moment for y'all. So like, after like lunch during like I don't know, like I was in 10th grade, I think. And I was like going to like waiting in front of history class. These guys are like standing behind me, and they're like looking inside a backpack, and I like look in there too, and I see something that looks like beef jerky. Is like, ooh, you guys like having beef jerky? And they're like, yeah, sure, it's beef jerky.
Wow.
It was actually
Marijuana,
dog treats.
Probably.
It was actually dog treats. It was fucking weird.
You know, I forgot people don't live in SoCal. It's like not that weird to me.
Yeah, I passed by a fucking dispensary in my way to work all the time.
Yeah.
I actually do see like a smoke shop sign, like billboard, like on the main road in my town.
There's a big Rick Sanchez on the front.
There's a smoke shop like I see like 5 on like every freeway exit basically.
There's like one on every block in Kansas City.
Yeah, and there's also a bunch of dispos around here. So
Weed. Funny weed drug.
California. It is a state in the US.
Yeah.
That's like crumbling apart. I've seen like videos where like fucking the road just comes off and there's like these mini earthquakes. It's like, wow, it's just falling off the bone, ain't it?
It was weirdly windy yesterday. I work at a coffee shop, and so we have like a little coffee sign. It got blown over like 3 times, so I just put it inside. And the door like flew closed once. There was like, because it's like an outdoor coffee shop thing, and there's like a frame on the wall that fell down. I had to pick it up. Luckily, it didn't break, but still, it was windy yesterday for no reason.
I mean, it was Wednesday.
Fuck you, Seth.
That was a terrible joke. It took me a minute to register that you're making a joke.
You're not funny. Like, I am the epitome of, like, very unfunny, and that was worse than a joke I would make.
I'm funny, though.
Yeah.
You are.
agree. Hey.
Pretty objectively funny, I might add.
Hey, guys. Funny joke.
Ha! I'm laughing hysterically right now.
Yeah, I could tell you're lol and lamowing.
I am rolling on the floor laughing.
Rafflecopter. Rafflecopter.
Sorry, going terrible.
When you like said you worked at a coffee shop, that like reminded me of the scene in like, you know, in Pulp Fiction when like the couple that like robbing a coffee shop.
No, I've never seen it.
Isn't that literally the very beginning of the movie?
And also the end. They grab like the manager of the coffee shop, and he goes like, "Please, sir, we're giving up all you want. I'm just a coffee shop," and the guy like cuts him off. So in like the credits, he's credited as like coffee shop. That's his name.
That's kind of awesome.
He's Mr. John Shop. Everyone just calls him Coffee.
I can't think of any movies I've actually watched this this year.
Persona
Cool
brain
moment.
rot.
I'm a college student. What are you talking about?
When's the last time you went to the classes, you fucking liar?
Literally last semester.
Yeah, you didn't go any time this semester.
The semester literally just started. And yeah, I'm not going to classes right now.
Every time I asked you about if you went to class, you said no, so I don't fucking believe
Not
you.
every time.
No, literally every time. Don't even fucking lie to me.
So far, the movies I've seen Spider-Man, Rocky, and American Graffiti.
You've seen a couple of shows, right? Since you referenced it earlier, you want to talk about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, like
You haven't? I thought you did already, Jekrix.
No.
We need to watch that. We
haven't.
should just watch it together later. It's literally like, what is it? Only like a couple episodes, right? It's only like 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Or wait, you mean the new one,
the
right?
New one.
Yeah, I haven't. I thought you were talking about the old one, which I know is like 6 episodes. I haven't.
Well, that's
seen
even
the new
shorter.
one.
That's like half an hour because they're fucking YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new one's like all together. I think it's like 2 hours. It's literally a movie. If you,
Okay.
Yeah, and it is, you could watch. it's stupid that the only legal way to watch is on the fucking Channel 7 like website, which you need to be a resident of the UK to watch. I just watched on YouTube uploads. Tee.
Teehee.
Teehee.
What's your favorite episode, James?
That is a hard one because I could think of there's a lot of things on every episode where I'd be like, oh, that's really good, and I'd say it's like my favorite. I feel like the last two aren't my favorites, but I feel like they're really good because they're like the culmination of the whole series. I'm trying to think. That is a hard question. Like, the first one's really fucking good. Like, I feel like the first one's probably like, no, the second one's the funniest, but the first one's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
The episode, I know your favorite is the one with Warren the Eagle, right?
Yeah.
That one's really good. Fucking calling the computer is the best part of that episode. All freelancers deserve to die.
A restaurant-style meal.
I was literally gonna make a joke because I literally had a restaurant-style meal for breakfast. I ordered from a diner that I go to sometimes, and it's literally just what you get at the restaurant, like the fucking soup, the side, and the main dish.
Fucking feasting.
It was pretty fucking good. It was a turkey club.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah, the Warren the Eagle episode's pretty good. I wouldn't say that one's my favorite, but that one again, calling the computer is fucking great. Like, you upset the market, man. It's like, I am now the ridicule of the market community. I will burn my orchard tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
The brain friends were pretty good.
Some of them are really abstract, like Yumferdinger.
First tooth, like bubble bath time, where I had a fucking stroke. There's just a tiny fucking yellow guy in the bathtub. You know what? I'd probably say the death episode is probably my favorite. Like, Duck is probably like the best in that episode. He's such a sassy bitch. Who's David? His name's not David.
He takes death rather well.
Yeah, he doesn't know what it is. Even though he claims he does. He was like, I always knew I deserved to die. Pour one out to my boy Stain Edwards, the forever boy. He did not deserve what had coming to him.
Unless that was Stain who was wielding the axe.
But it's implied that the weird blob thing in the last episode is Stain Edwards, and he's literally being tortured for all eternity.
Oh.
My boy Edwards didn't deserve it. He just wanted to have friends and go on adventures and learn about finance. And then the work episode, it's really good. Like, there's a lot of good jokes in that one.
My favorite, of course, being, attention freaks, it's me.
And immediately after, it's like, that's weird. They're pretending like they don't respect me. or when fucking red guy goes to answer the phone, he was like, don't get too close for them. I think they're feral. God, that show's so fucking good. It is, they are just like longer versions of the web series, but I think I say that like in a good way. Like they really did just take the concepts that they had in like the web series, made it for TV, and it just worked really well.
Is it standalone, or is it still like based on like continuing from the web series in some way?
I mean, if you want to go like into like theory diving, you could say yes or no to those questions, but
okay, so I'll just count it as standalone because that's easier.
And you can't. I think the best, the family episode is probably the creepiest. It's probably the closest to the original web series in terms of like scare factor. Bill says the best song, like the family song, is my favorite from the series. That song and the electricity song in the last episode, fucking Duck and Red Guy shredding on the electric guitar is really good.
I really like when, like the two like kids like show up and like Todney has like a mini freak out. He's just floating around in the air.
Oh yeah, and then the way we just like you can see the strings pick up the puppet, shake it a little bit, and put it back down. It's so good. I don't like how many times he pisses himself though. In the fucking family song, if you look at the picture where in the bunk bed, there's like a piss stain on his bed. It's like, why does this kid keep pissing himself?
He's like that one like Chucky Finster kid from Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah. There's also the joke where he's trying to sing Yellow Guy. Steve is like, no thank you with the song, Todney. God. I like how when they're playing the board game, the mother piece is literally just like that ancient, like, goddess statue with just the fat lady with the massive tits. That's pretty good.
You're almost members of a family.
Family game? I don't want to like spoil too much of it, but I like how the entire plot is revolved around opening a bag of chips and also ordering fried chicken. For how like creepy and like over the rails it goes, it's literally just about ordering fried chicken.
And getting a discount.
Yeah, that they didn't fucking need because they insist you can't get it unless you're a family. You can't open the family pack unless you're a family. Or a clump or a group or whatever the fuck the three main characters are.
Found family.
I like how their justification is just like, well yeah, we're the family, we all share the same lawyers.
Does it make us a family since we all have the same lawyer?
No we don't. I don't even have a lawyer. If I get arrested, I'm fucked.
I signed you up for one.
No you didn't. You don't got the money.
Spoilers. It's a pretty shitty lawyer.
Yeah, it's Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of lawyers, Jekrix, you want to talk about how you played through the first Phoenix Wright game, and we watched you play through it?
Yeah. I mean, Seth only saw the last case.
You saw the last couple. He joined in a couple, like, sporadically.
Oh, for a little bit sporadically, but he fully saw the last case, I think.
Yeah.
I had played through the first 4 cases before, and I knew I liked them. First case is... It is an introductory case.
Yeah, it's just a tutorial.
It has the guy with like the mole in the middle of his forehead.
Yeah, Mr. Solid.
Objection. I like his objection. It's very like shrill and high pitched.
No, that's not his. That's Payne's.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other lawyer, not Edgeworth. It's pretty fun. I like it. I recommend it. The last case is a little too long, I think. But it was really, like, you could tell it was added after. That's my problem with it. It felt interjected.
Yeah,
but I did like it still.
Also, like, you did kind of like binge through it, like pretty, like the games are like handheld games. I think they are meant to be like played for a little bit, then put down, then picked back up and played for a little bit.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, because like when I was first playing it, we were doing like 1 case a day, which but throughout the month.
Technically, we did the first 2
cases
in one day, but that's because the first case is like
the first case is dirt slow, and I already knew all like I still remembered how it went down.
1-5 is just so fucking long.
Yeah, I liked it. But it kind of felt like a retrain of the 5th case, but more.
The 4th case, you mean?
4th case, I'm sorry, I can't count.
Yeah, it literally felt like a repeat of the 4th case, but a lot more like you could tell it was the 5th case was added in the DS version because there's a bunch of shit you could tell where you're taking advantage of like the DS's.
Blow on the microphone.
You blow on the microphone, rotate the 3D thing like the powder.
A 3D cutscene?
The powder shit is obviously for like the touchscreen, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shit you can tell. There's a.
Yeah, Meekins was the murderer.
There's a bunch of shit you could tell was added just for like to show off the DS's capabilities, which doesn't translate well in like a hyper HD fucking like PC re-release.
The best thing to come out of it was the Quieres meme I made.
Yeah.
And the cowboy guy.
I find Kiera so funny. Yeah,
Marshall's
Marshall.
probably my favorite character so far.
Yeah. Not long after we did the first few cases, on Steam, I posted a review of the game that's it just says Edgeworth and Wright should kiss already. And as of right now, it's the most popular review on Steam.
Oh my god. I mean, that's
Like,
your fault for spitting facts.
I'll send a picture of it, but like it's the one with the most stuff, with the most reactions and stuff, and 117 people found it helpful.
It is very helpful.
I like how you're using that old profile picture of you.
I made that in high school. I've just never bothered to change it. It's still the same one on YouTube as well.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be using the same fucking random sprite you found on Google in middle school for your profile picture on YouTube. But who would do that?
How do you feel about being represented by the gold Magikarp?
I think
There's
I
no
said
reason
this
to be
before,
ashamed.
but one time I was on Twitter and there's this Japanese artist who was doing, I think it was Tokyo Mirage Sessions or even, and his profile pic, I say his, but it could be her, they, or whatever, but the profile picture was the same sprite, but it was like the regular sprite, so it was just like the regular Magikarp. I remember seeing it, I was like, brother, is that you? my kin, my long lost half, I found him. And he's a fucking random Japanese artist that I never found again.
You know the joke with like Japanese artists, there'll be like random characters and followed by a bunch of numbers, and they'll have like hundreds of thousands of followers and draw like godlike art. And they'll not caption it with anything.
But it's only of
Yeah.
like their one character that they really like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are the base ones.
I think it was
There's-
art of the main girl in that game, whose name I forget because I just remember them for their their Fire Emblem stands that they have. She has the Pegasus girl from FE1. What's her name?
Kata? Sita?
Yeah.
I don't know how they pronounce it. I think in Heroes they pronounce it Sita, even though it's C-A-E-D-A.
I'm trying to think I'm trying to think of like the original like fan translation. I think it be translated as like Sita, like with an S. So I think
Okay,
it's Sita.
Yeah, and I think in Heroes they pronounce it that way. I haven't played Heroes in years.
Yeah, I think it's
So I don't
Sita.
remember.
Yeah, she has Sita as her fucking Fire Emblem stand. That's a good
There's-
game. Y'all should play it, T.
I was playing FE1.
No, I'm talking about
this year,
Tokyo
actually.
Mirage Sessions, so you could be.
Oh,
Oh.
So that way there could be 3 people who played the game.
it always comes back to SMT. Actually, that I was about to ask before you went into that. What is a good Fire Emblem like to start off with?
I will always say
7.
Yeah, like literally the one that came to the West first. Fire Emblem is the best Fire Emblem game to start with.
Okay.
7 or 8.
8 is
Sacred Stones. Sacred Stones is kind of like the bridging game between. I like to think between games that like the more modern ones, like Awakening, that had like an overworld or kinda type thing, but didn't lean so heavily into the social mechanics.
also it has the best lord in the game. Literally can solo the entire fucking game by himself.
Yeah, I have talked about this, but several times, but I am not the biggest fan of the social mechanics in Fire Emblem. I understand why they're there, and I understand why they're really popular, but they're not very interesting to me from a gameplay standpoint, and I mostly like the Fire Emblem series for the gameplay.
You fucking hate Engage, I think, because it's literally like the simping to like a comically like amount. But I think as is on purpose, because like I engage Leah, like you're the reincarnation of like this fucking dragon that is supposed to save the world, and you're brought back to save the world again, and everyone wants to suck your dick and or lady bits because you could choose your gender, and your main character's like, guys, can you like calm it the fuck down?
Yeah, I don't think the story is good in any of the Fire Emblems I've played. No, I like 9's story. That's Ike's game.
Yeah, I was about to say the first
Ike's game
was it Radiant Dawn is the Wii one?
I didn't finish that one. I got through the first arc.
Yeah,
Is that the one that has like cat girl racism?
The first one deals with racism.
Both of them do, right? Because
there's a lot of
the beast
race.
Yeah,
the first one is basically a race war story, but
a while ago,
it's pretty good.
Someone like was talking about how Ruby does like the faunus, because the faunus are basically like animal people. Like one of the main characters is a cat girl, and they were like, play this Fire Emblem game. It does like the cat girl racism better than Ruby ever does.
Yeah, 9 is really good story.
Yeah, I think that's the only one with like a story that I liked. 7 is mid, 6 is mid.
Yeah, Ike's arc in that game is really good.
8 is mid.
Oh yeah, 8's story is like mid until like the end game where it gets like off the rails like really quickly.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it that, but I was just so disinterested by the end game that like, okay.
It does have one of the darkest moments in like an FE game where there's like the guy who's just like who like loses it and just starts talking to like this dead wife. Like her corpse is right there. They don't show it because like obviously it's still like a GBA game, but like the implication of this guy who just lost it, all he's left to is like a mumbling like wreck talking to his deceased wife, and they just like leave him there. It's like, fuck, that's kind of dark. Oh, you should play FE8 because there's a guy named Seth in there, Seth, and he's literally the best unit in the game. So Seth in that game is supposed to be
absolutely
it's supposed
broken.
to be the Jagan of the game, which is like the archetype where it's like it's a character who has like really good starting stats, is already promoted, but it's supposed to have like really bad growth. But except they forgot to put that bad growth part in there, so he's just a really good character, and he could him and what's the fucking lord's name? I always forget.
Ephraim.
Him and Ephraim could literally just like solo the game by themselves. You don't need any other character.
Honestly, you don't even need Seth, because FE8 is piss easy.
Yeah, like Ephraim like his solo the game, and if you also use Seth, then it's even easier. Because Ephraim's like a ground unit. He doesn't have a horse, but he still has like good mobility. Like he has like the spear, which is really good. Like not like like you know how all the lords have like their fucking like unique weapon.
Rapiers.
Yeah, his spear is really good.
Yeah, Erica is like the normal sword lord in most FE games. Ephraim is just based. Yeah. And you can choose. You start out with Erica for like the tutorial, but after like chapter 5 or whatever, you get to choose either Ephraim or Erica. Erica, I think, is a little harder just because
she's not Ephraim.
Ephraim is so broken. But even then, like, it's not that hard of a game.
Yeah. I guess speaking of Fire Emblem,
one of the easier ones.
One of the games that I started this month was Fire Emblem, the first one, on the good old Famicom. Except, I'm playing the Switch version, which again, I every time I talk about this game, I always have to bring up, for some stupid fucking reason, they made this digital game a limited release. So if you didn't buy it in like the year-long span it was on the eShop, you can't buy it anymore for some fucking reason.
And for some reason, it lined up with when they did the Mario ones too.
Yeah.
Like, what does Fire Emblem have to do with Mario?
It was also Fire Emblem's 5th anniversary, but it makes it even worse because the FE1 translation was the only thing they had for the FE 35th anniversary, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
If you didn't buy it in the year that was out, well, fucking too bad, dipshit. Go play the fan translation, I guess, or play it on the Japanese Famicom online thing because they have it for free with all the other retro Fire Emblem games.
I wanted to say this because my favorite Fire Emblem games are 5 through 10. I didn't finish 10, but I did like what I played of it. 5 is probably my favorite.
That's Genealogy, right?
No, it's Thracia.
Oh yeah, there you go. Genealogy is
4. I haven't really played that much of 4, but I really like 5, and I'm so pissed that Nintendo's a bitch and won't localize it. I'll play it untranslated even. It's like because 5 is like how I was saying 8 is kind of the intermediary game between the more modern and more the old ones. 5 is kind of like the intermediary before the older ones and then the GBA ones, because like it has the rescue mechanic, it has the trading mechanic, and it has like other things that the ones prior didn't have, and things like that I really like. And it did have supports, they were kind of like built in, but also just had a lot of really unique and weird mechanics, like I think they're called like support stars or something, where there's a chance a unit will get an extra move. There's taking hostage of enemies. Your inventory size is 8 items for some reason, which is fucking huge. But like there's also a lot like bigger penalties with rescuing. Like it literally has all of your stats instead of just your like your speed or whatever. And it's a very mechanically interesting game to me, so I really like it. And no other Fire Emblem game is like it to me.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's a bitch for not localizing
all the
it.
FE games up to Thracia are on the Japanese online thing. All the old SMT games are on there. Fucking, it's even worse on like the Virtual Console for the 3DS and Wii U, where they had like all the Last Bible games and all these other fucking like old school games that they just refuse to localize for some fucking reason. And I literally don't know why. They're fucking.
I thought Last Bible is now here.
No, it still has. The only Last Bible game they got fucking localized was a spin-off Another Bible, which was called Revelations: The Demon Slayer in America. I mean, now you could play the mobile versions of Last Bible on Steam because,
but
they're still in Japanese. They never localized. Anyways, FE1.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like, it's super easy. Like, cause it is just the strategy RPG to its most basic form. Like, you have your units. There's the enemy. Fucking get to the castle and seize it, and that's how you end every map. There's no like objective variety. Every map is just siege the map except for the last one, which is you kill the shadow dragon, which is in the title because it's called Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon.
I played it. I was playing it last year as well at some point. I think it was when I was just randomly spamming you with like the portraits of the characters and finding it really funny.
I drew the fucking old Marth portrait like a while ago. It's the emo in Skyler's Discord.
I've had this conversation with James, but Siege is like my favorite SRPG game mode. It's the only one where you can be the most strategic about it, because you can either play it slow, you can play it fast, you can try to minimize the turn count, you can try to kill all the enemies or something like that, you could try to efficiently. I feel like it's the one where you can do the most planning to get the best, to be the best at it. Whereas with something like Route, like you can't. I feel like you can't do that nearly as much. Which
fucking like just Route where it's just like just get your units to like to the waypoint, and that's the like it basically is like run away from all the enemies because fighting slows you down. I hate fucking Fog of War. Obscuring game knowledge to like increased difficulty is not fun. It's just tedious. And then defense alright. Like defense pretty.
I don't like defend. Well,
Depends on
yeah.
the map. Like
Defend-
it
I
has
don't
to be again. It's about the map. I guess talking about FE1 and their maps. So their maps are pretty. There are two types of maps: hallways or giant fields. There's no in between.
yeah.
Like they're either
But-
in like these cramped corridors where you basically just have to move your units in a fucking conga line to get to your objective, or it's just like this massive lump of land, and then there's a castle somewhere in there, and you just gotta get your units to it.
Maybe there's a mountain or something.
Yeah,
in the
maybe there's like a
corner.
mountain range like leading you to where it is, but it's mostly just like land, maybe some water.
Or you could use the warp staff.
I love warp in FE1. It's so busted. The warp staff
So,
lets you,
yeah.
like in its name, just warp to any point in the map, and it leads to a lot of funny and interesting strategies.
Like you can one turn some maps if you have a dancer.
Well, that's in later FE games. There is no
yeah.
dancer because
you can't do that in one, but like still, like a lot of the games is based on the staff uses magic stat or something, but in FE1 it's just unhinged.
Yeah, in like map 3 you get the warp staff, and it's just like
Yeah, you get it so early. I was so surprised. Like, this is usually like a mid to late game item.
I mean, to be fair,
and
if you
and you don't have to find it. It's given to you.
To be fair, like it is pretty limited use, and you don't get another one till like late game. But like Fire Emblem 1's maps are so small, you really don't need warp that much unless it's like one of those corridor like maps, or if it's like, okay, I just want to get Marth to the fucking end because like he's pretty slow, and you don't want fucking to waste like 50 turns just to get him to the like the throne or like the castle or whatever.
Also, Martha's my favorite thief. For some reason, Marth can open all the chests with because he gets the Fire Emblem.
Yeah, and that allows him to open
And
every chest. Yeah.
For some reason.
He's a prince, so like he orders the chests to open.
Marth is like, other than that, Marth is a pretty shitty unit. Like I don't.
Most lords are.
Like his only thing that makes him good is that he can wield the rapier and some like higher level swords, like the Armor Slayer or the Rider's Bane, which can help with dealing with like cavaliers, which FE1 likes to spam a lot. Like I feel like there's more cavaliers and like fucking bandits in that game. But other than that, like Marth is a pretty bad unit, and I really don't like using him, especially in like the early game where he's really fucking bad. Like you gotta let him take like pity kills just to like get him like up to snuff.
Talking about the Warp Staff, FE6. So in the GBA Fire Emblem games, the distance that you can warp a unit is, I believe, half the unit's movement plus 5 or whatever, right? FE6 is the only Fire Emblem game where you can purchase boots, which increases your movement's, your unit's movement range by 2. And so the low turn count runs, and I think the speed runs also use it, is so funny because after the mid game, when you get to the secret shop, they just buy like an endless number of boots, and so Roy and all the power units can just be warped across all the way to the end of the map. And if they can't get warped far enough, they can literally just walk to the seize point and win.
Yeah, like,
and it's so
it's
funny.
Like warp Roy to the seize point, kill the boss. Next turn, Roy seizes the castle,
and he walks like 50 feet in one turn, which is so funny. Like, there's a reason like movement increase items have never been a thing ever again in Fire Emblem.
They should do it because it's fun.
It's so fun because it's like you have to get it at a secret shop. Like, I don't see why not just include it for shits and giggles.
Even if it's like really late game, I think it's the just wants to have fun. That's it.
Yeah, that's another thing. I prefer the Fire Emblems with like
With jank.
generally higher, the jank, yeah, but generally higher movement distances. Like when I played a little bit of Three Houses and I saw the base movement distance is 4, and Cavs move 6, which is so tiny because in all the ones that I've played, base movement is 5.
And Three Houses maps are also
And-
fucking atrocious.
Yeah, they're so tiny too, and I was like, I don't like this nearly as much. I like the big space and stuff because
Like,
I think positioning is like one of the things that it's the thing that makes strategy RPGs interesting.
like FP1's movement's also pretty bad, but it's compensated. But like most of the maps are pretty small. I say most. There are like their bigger maps, but there's enough like enemies and shit to do where it doesn't feel like a slog. Unless you're a Cavalier, in which case you could clear half the map at any point, or like a Pegasus Knight, which fucking you could probably move from like your spawn point to like the fucking seize point in like 2 turns.
Yeah, I'm one of those filthy players to have a team of mostly mounts. Just
I mean, they're just good, like especially in FE1 where
they're universally good.
like
The only time they're bad is like in sand stages in like FE5 and 6 or 4.
the best thing about FE1, like I
6
said,
and 7.
FE1 is just the strategy RPG in its most basic core, so there are no map gimmicks other than like the shape of the map and what enemies are in it. Other than that, like there are no gimmicks. It's just fucking beat the map and then move on to the next one. The most gimmicky things about them are like all like the extra shit, like the hidden recruits or like all the good items that are like in chests. It's like, okay, now you gotta route your thief or Marth to get to like the chests or like the recruits, because something is a little annoying in FE1. Marth's the only one that could go into villages, and therefore is the only one to get recruits from those villages, and he's usually the one you need to talk to, like overworld people to recruit.
Yeah,
Which is a little annoying.
It's usually either
but
Marth or Sita,
Yeah.
because everyone's a simp for Sita.
that's like, yeah, it's like Sita walks up to a person. He was like, "Hello, I am a nice person," and they're like, "You are a nice person. I will forsake my country and my people because you are a nice person." And then Marth, every Marth fucking recruit just like, "Hey Marth, I remember you from Thing." And like, "Hey, best friend haven't seen in years. Wanna go fucking fight a war with me?" Like, "Yeah, sure." I wasn't doing anything else.
And Marth just does pog face.
He says Parker.
Going back to Marth being a thief, in FE5 there's one map, and it's really funny because Leaf, he's the lord of the game. He is I forget if he's the prince or the king. But there's one map where people are seizing Leaf's castle. It is a defend map, but they're all seizing Leaf's castle. But there's chests inside Leaf's castle. But to open them, you need to use your thieves, even though it's Leaf's castle. Like, and you have to use the thieves to open the doors too. But it's his castle. He doesn't have his keys.
He dropped them on the way there.
Like, because the layout of the map has, like, a couple of units in Leaf's throne room. Leaf is also in his throne room. You have a couple units on the other side of the map, and you have a few units in the front side of the map to protect it. And it's just, like, they're, like, I don't know why you can't just open your own chests. I think it's mostly there so that enemies, so they can portray the idea of enemies like raiding and stealing stuff as well. But if you don't pillage it yourself, you don't get those items the next map or whatever. You just have to steal from yourself, which is really funny.
I think I'm done with my FE talk. If there's anything else y'all want to talk about that you played recently.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was a little while.
I submitted like an assignment I was supposed to do for a class while y'all were talking.
You're welcome.
Nice.
You want to talk about Celeste for a little bit, Jekrix?
Did you play it recently?
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
You played in the call for a bit, remember?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we were talking about this, and you were saying you will not.
It's my turn to shut up. You and Jekrix could fucking talk about Celeste for like a year.
Cause I remember I was saying like I love the post game, and you're like, oh okay, I won't play the post game.
No, like what you were describing was like, okay, you gotta go do this, and I was just like, do you have to do all that for the credits? And you were like, oh no, you don't. It's like, okay, never mind then. That game is great, but it was like hurting my fingers, with like how the button setup was.
That's why you do everything with shoulder buttons like I do.
If I ever decide to return to that game, I might consider that.
Cause I jump with the right shoulder button, grab with the top right shoulder button, and dash with the left shoulder button. Having it on all different fingers rather than just only on my thumb, it like separates it out, and so it makes it easier for me.
Yeah, I really enjoy that game.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
I have a few Celeste merch things, and I might end up getting more. I'm thinking of Celeste tattoo eventually.
Like little sticky strawberry.
I'm not sure about the strawberry because I have a strawberry pin on my bag.
I got a few strawberries. I got enough for like I think like there's like a single strawberry on top of the cake at the very end.
I did a berryless run once for shits and giggles.
What does the cake look like when you do that? Or they're just like, this is nothing?
Yeah, I don't think they say. I think it's the same thing as if you only got like up to 5 strawberries. I thought there would be something special for a like 0, but no. Like it's just a bland cake, no toppings. There's like the thinnest film of filling in it, and they're all just like, "There's a cake."
They should have done. It's like you got 0 strawberries, you get no cake. Fuck you. And all the characters are looking at the screen disappointedly.
And they're all like flipping you off as well with like that stock photo. I really like the Battle End boss fight.
Yeah, that's a fun stage.
Might be one of the best boss fights I've ever played. Like, or maybe like one of the best in a platformer.
Yeah, that's fair. I think some of my favorite platformer boss fights go to A Hat in Time. Because they're actually boss fights.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've played that, but
I have. I think I played it in 2021.
Yeah, I think I played it 2020. But yeah, the battle lane fight is good. Something that a lot of platformers can't do is combat or like some sort of boss fight that actually utilizes like, you know, the main mechanics of the game.
Interject for a bit. I think a lot of platformers just got used to like the Mario standard where it's just like the 3-hit Dunzo strat, which is like you just hit the boss 3 times and you're done. Which is why I feel like a lot of platformers tend to have not so great bosses.
Yeah, I think Odyssey actually has some decent boss fights.
Yeah, that's also I'm mostly talking about like 2D platformers. I know you guys are talking about A Hat in Time, which is like a 3D platformer, but I was mostly referring to like 2D, where it's just like just jump on the boss 3 times, tee.
I think that's one of the reasons I like Hollow Knight so much, because it's a platformer and a Metroidvania with actually good combat.
Yeah, usually Metroidvanias either focus on good combat or with bad platforming, or good platforming with bad combat.
Yeah, like I the only Metroid I've played is Zero Mission. It's like, but I found that really fun. The combat is piss ass. I hate the Metroid combat.
I don't know how much of a hot topic this is, but I feel like Metroid, the first one, which also is Zero Mission, and Super Metroid have really good platforming, but the combat's kind of ass. I'm not going to talk about Metroid 2 because that's a Game Boy game. If we're talking about AM2R, then that game's amazing. Even if we're talking about Samus Returns on a 3DS, it also has pretty decent combat. Not the best, but like it's better than the fucking Game Boy one for certain.
I sent the berryless image.
Battle looks so cute. Just like just staring at this berryless cake.
Can I get that pie berryless?
Yeah, there's no filling in that pie. You cut it open, it's just air.
I'll contest that, like, I haven't played Super Metroid, but, like, there is, like, it does seem to have, like, depth with some of, like, the weapon variety and the design of some of the bosses. Like,
I think for the context of it mostly being based on exploration, its combat is fine. I do not like the bosses though.
But Hollow Knight has like really good combat though.
Love, yeah.
And it helps that like some of the combat can also be used for exploration, like the little like pogo jump you could do. And stuff.
Like, you can get to some places early. I did that because I was persistent. In general, there's like very few 2D games that I can think of that with combat that I actually like and is satisfying. Like, I'm not big on beat 'em ups. I find them boring. And like, but
about to say Streets of Rage, my man.
They've never done it for me. Like, they're good for like
what's the
20
fucking
minutes.
Steam beat 'em up that you bought that has a nostalgia critic in it?
Oh,
it's like Fist of Fury or some shit, right? Something like that.
Something. God,
I'm about to I want to pull up my Steam library real quick, but I'm not gonna do that. I know I have it. I think you have it too, right, Jekrix?
I don't see it.
Yeah, Streets of Fury
what's
EX.
it called? Oh, Streets of... Yes, I do.
It's Bob Lennon and Nostalgia Critic.
Did you buy it for me?
Maybe it was in like a bundle. Or, I can't remember, but yeah, you should play that one.
We should do like a collaboration review on this.
That's yeah.
It's overwhelmingly positive.
Fuck our plans to play Twilight Princess together. Let's just play this game.
Can we please play Twilight Princess? I spent $70.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just need to finish Nier Replicant and I'll be ready. I'll plow through it over the weekend.
No, fuck you, Jekrix.
I don't have much to say about Nier Replicant, but that game like sounds like God. It has some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard in a video game with so much emotional resonance, and it also has like a really funny, snarky book that floats around you. Like, you'll take a bunch of side quests and the book's just like, so like whenever like someone asks you to do something, you have to do it. Do you not know how to say no? And he's just like, come on, we're helping people. It's just like, fine, whatever. I'm too good for this shit.
Nier Replicant is like a remake of the original Nier, right? Or something?
Yes.
Or is it? Yeah. I don't know anything about the Nier series.
And it has a stupid fucking title with like 1,000,000 decimal numbers.
Nier Replicant 2. Yada 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 yada.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's
verbatim.
The remake is like based on like the Japanese version of Nier. Because there was like two versions. One for like the West and one for Japan. Japan got the one where like you play as like the older brother looking after like his sister, while over here we got like a father looking after his daughter. Replicant is based on the Japanese version, but it has some elements of the Western version. So you're like playing as like a guy like looking after his sister. And he's just like a little goober.
Quick tangent. I'm glad we're past the days of English versions of Japanese games that are fucking like butchered so to quote unquote like appeal to the fucking Western audience. Like so many old RPGs got fucking like babyfied just because they were worried that English players wouldn't like them because they're stupid apparently.
Final Fantasy IV had like everything unique about it stripped down.
Even Final Fantasy VI had a lot of things changed and tweaked to make it more suitable for Western artisans. Persona 1 had a whole quest taken out of it, so much so that when they did the PSP re-release, one of the selling points is like, and now the long-awaited Snow Queen quest. It's just like, it wouldn't be long-awaited if it was in the fucking original.
And Persona 1 also, like, doubled the experience you get from battles.
Yeah, double the experience and the money you got, which completely ruined the economy in that game. So it made that the PS1 English version fucking piss easy.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Yeah, the first Final
I cannot
Fantasy
wait to
game.
play that.
The first Final Fantasy
In
game
Europe.
that the Europe ever got.
The only one until 7.
Yep. I'm glad once 7 came around, Square Enix was like, you know what? Let's just stop being fucking morons. And then the rest of the industry follows suit.
And now they're morons again.
Yeah, now they're fucking doubling down NFTs.
Imagine a world where Square Enix decided, like, you know what? Fuck it. We're calling it Final Fantasy IV.
God, imagine.
And 8's 5. 9 is 6.
Marketing the fucking MMO, or both of the MMOs, while trying to, like, have this, like, random fucking, like, number shit with, like, the West and Japanese. It'd be a nightmare.
I hate video games. I have a list of like the games I could remember playing.
There are a few things I still haven't talked about that I played this year. And last year I guess mostly because one of the things I played this year and one of the things I played mostly last year was Pokemon, specifically the newest release, Scarlet and Violet.
Rabid.
Yeah, this month I finished my 3rd playthrough of that game.
The game came out last month, didn't it? Or 2 months ago?
Came out in November. Yeah, 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
I mean, it's just good games. I don't know what the fuck else to say.
Just observing it, I think it might be the best Pokemon game in a long while.
We talked about this.
That seems to be the
in
consensus.
private, but like usually with Pokemon games, I usually save replay throughs. Like I try to space them out. Like with Sword and Shield, I eventually did 3 playthroughs of those, but it was over like it's like 3-year lifespan, so like it's basically like a playthrough a year. But yeah, with this game, I'm already on my 3rd playthrough. It's been 2 months, and I'm already just like, man, I kind of want to play through it again. It's just really good. I am a little at a crossroads. Is like you could tell this was a product of like crunch and like trying to get it out for the holiday release, and I'd rather not support that business practice, but fuck, they did it. They finally made a good 3D Pokemon game. Not to shit on Sword and Shield, because I do like those games, but like Scarlet and Violet are just such good. It's just such a good way to take the franchise in a. It took a lot of interesting things they added in Legends Arceus and added it to like a more core Pokemon experience, and it's just really good. I don't know what else to say. Its replay value is like off the charts just because it's like this open world where you can just go whatever, catch whatever, do whatever.
The farthest I've gotten in Scarlet is sealed in its package.
Yeah, you bought it, but you haven't played it yet, right?
Yeah, the only thing I've done is booted up my friend's copy of Violet
Yeah.
for like 30 minutes. Less than, actually.
I think one thing that it does bad, that it's been a consistent thing since the jump to 3D, is its lack of post-game. I don't know why they went from Black and White 2, which had one of the best post-games in any Pokemon game, to fucking now where like you get the most bare bone like post-games. Like you have like a legendary to catch, maybe 2, a fucking dex completion, like your little battle thing where you could do for like BP and shit. You have Scarlet and Violet actually probably has the least amount of post game in any Pokemon game because it doesn't even have a battle tower.
There's no Mount Battle from Pokemon XD?
No, it has this like school tournament thing you could do for money, but like there is no battle tower or like battle maison or anything of the sort. Definitely no fucking battle frontier. Fucking that shit's long dead. We ain't never gonna see that again.
Isn't its post game kind of being brought on with like the raids and stuff that's happening?
Raids get boring after a while when it's just like fight a Pokemon for like a minute and that's it. And you just get these rewards that at some point literally mean nothing because you have all the money you could want. You have all the items you could want.
I don't know. It works for MMO players.
That's the thing. Pokemon is an MMO. Like you could, all this grinding means nothing if you're just playing it casually. Even if you're playing it competitively, there's easier ways to like get the things you want from like raids and stuff. I know like they've been doing the DLC thing, but even like the DLC, it doesn't really add that much in terms of console. Like Switch's Sword and Shield's DLC, it had the Isle of Armor, which was pretty alright, but you could technically play through the Isle of Armor when you first boot up the game, because it does scale cellular level, and then like the Crown Tundra is a little bit better, especially with the Dynamax adventures, but like it just really been struggling with making good post games since like X and Y and the jump to 3D. I really don't understand it.
Yeah. I will not go into why X and Y is so terrible in this, because it will extend our podcast to another hour.
Another 5 hours, because I'll go on it too.
That'll be for episode 2 in 2025.
That's optimistic.
That's the next game we should play together, because we all own a copy of X or Y.
You know what? I don't mind playing it again.
Sure, I have a level 100 Vettel on it.
Yeah, you have your brother's used copy.
No, it's not a used copy. It was like my own copy.
That your brother used.
But like, yeah, okay, fair. And I have like all those mystery gifts, and I think it was a shiny Vettel, right?
Yeah, it was a shiny level 100 Yveltal.
It's Yveltal? Oh, there's another L there?
Whatever. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about Pokemon pronunciation? All of them are wrong.
Arceus, Arceus, Arceus.
Arceus.
Arceus. I want to finish Legends Arceus though, eventually.
Oh, that is also a really. I'm.
Yeah. I think I started playing that when I had COVID,
Yeah.
right? And I was like streaming it to you.
I'm hard pressed to say which is better, Legends Arceus or Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet are obviously like the better mains, like core Pokemon experience, because it has like the gym leaders and all that shit. Like it's
Okay, but Legends Arceus has combat.
Yeah, Arceus. I don't know, cause like I did my one playthrough of Arceus. I had a lot of fun, but it is a very like meaty game, and it kind of does feel like the one playthrough's enough for now, at least.
Maybe just because of the way I like things, but I would replay the boss fights. Just
you can like.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, once you beat the game, you could rematch the boss fights as much as you want. The boss fights are probably like the best fucking part of the game. Like, they're super fun.
Okay.
The Arceus boss fight's really fucking good. And then they added fucking, in the free update they added another one where you could fight Origin Form, Palkia, and Dialga too.
Based.
Yeah. Legend Arceus is probably like the better game, but like in terms of like a core Pokemon experience and one that I could replay more often, I have to give it Scarlet and Violet. Also, like Scarlet and Violet has the bigger decks and therefore has a lot of it has better team variety. It's probably mostly my fault because there's 3 things I like to do when making a team. One is no type overlaps. 2 is try to use as much of the new Pokemon and less of like older ones. And 3, use Pokemon that I have never used before in the playthrough. And since Legends Arceus is mostly just Platinum's decks, with a few like new entries for like with Pokemon that came out after Gen 4, it's mostly just Platinum's decks, and I played through Gen 4 a lot of times. Therefore, like my team variety for that game was mostly relegated to a couple of the new things he added, plus some of like the harder evolutions to get in Gen 4, like Porygon Z.
See, like all of these Pokemon are new to me. So.
Yeah, because you don't play Pokemon a lot. For me, they're all fucking things I've seen like 50 million times over. But yeah, Legends Arceus is a good ass game. I definitely like if you just want like a game to like one and done, beat it, and really have a really good experience with it, I recommend Legends Arceus. But if you want like a more core experience with Pokemon, if you want like because Legends Arceus really doesn't feel like a Pokemon game at some point.
I think that's why I liked it so much.
Yeah, it's really its own unique thing.
I've told you the only Pokemon games I've beaten are Pokemon Stadium 1 and Hey You Pikachu.
Which are also not traditional Pokemon experiences. I just think you don't like Pokemon.
Seth, what do you have against me having played Hey You Pikachu?
Interesting starting points in the Pokemon series. You play Stadium and be like, oh wow, this is a great party game, but what if the rest of the game is like this?
My first two Pokemon games aren't that different. I played Battle Revolution, which is basically Gen 4's Stadium. And I played Poke Park Wii.
Poke Park? Yeah, Poke Park.
Which, to be fair, Poke Park Wii is pretty fun. For like a little stupid baby game, it's pretty fun. And it has a lot of like good mini games, even though they are like Wiimote waggle shit.
In Hey You Pikachu, I could terrorize Pokemon by making him do Thunderbolt
and yell at Pikachu as much as you want. Call him all the horrible things, and he cries.
Pika, Pika,
Keep yelling PlayStation and Sega at him.
Oh yeah, I remember that fucking old shit. Yeah.
I want to just say, because like I'm kind of excited because me and my brother upgraded to the Nintendo Switch expansion pass thingy.
Oh yeah, and Stadium 1 and 2 are on there, yeah.
They're not on there yet. They're coming sometime this year, as well as GoldenEye.
It's annoying that you can't do the transfer thing for obvious reasons, but I mean, it's cool that Stadium 1 and 2 are going to be on there. And Puzzle League, the best Pokemon game.
Puzzle League is currently on there, yeah.
You could watch crusty fucking anime footage and listen to like MIDI versions of all the Pikachu jukebox music.
And you can hear crusty Ash Ketchum speak to you and say, we're best friends. Something I kind of wanted when, when the 3DS versions of Red and Blue came out was connectivity to the Wii U port, or to the Wii U Virtual Console of Pokemon Stadium 1, but you couldn't do that.
It feels like it'd be such an easy thing to do, because the 3DS can already connect to the Wii U in various ways.
I remember someone telling me that was stupid, and I was like, why is that stupid? But then, like, well, no one has a Wii U, so I guess fair, but still.
Yeah, I mean, in that era, like, a lot more people had 3DSs than Wii U's.
Yeah, because that was towards the end.
Yeah, N64 Virtual Console was towards the end of the Wii U's lifespan.
Yeah. Anyway, you were gonna say something else. I just want to talk about Switch Online.
I want to briefly mention one thing I'm trying to do. I haven't been doing very good at this, but one thing I want to do, because I have such a huge backlog of games, like almost close to 1,000.
Oh.
Is
yeah, you're telling me.
I want to try at least not like exactly, but I want to beat games at a rate of like a game a week. And it's week 4, and I've only beaten 2, but I'm close to beating like 3. And Fire Emblem is also pretty. I'm like 2/3 done with Fire Emblem, so I'm close to that too. So if I have a lot of days off this week and on the weekend, so I can probably squeeze it in. But I'm just trying to think of all the games I started this month alone. I talked about Fire Emblem.
I mean, we were saying like you should write it down.
Oh yeah, I played Pikmin earlier this month.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Pikmin is probably like my favorite game to just like pick up and play. Like if I just want to play something and beat it and be done with it, I usually go for the first Pikmin.
Mm-hmm.
That game, we were talking about atmosphere with SMT3. That game also has like immaculate atmosphere. Like something that
I really regret not picking up that copy when I saw it at a bookstore.
How much was it?
$30.
That was a steal.
Yeah, it was that or Luigi's Mansion, and I had regretted not playing Luigi's Mansion as a kid, so I got that instead.
To be fair, Luigi's Mansion also goes for a lot for no fucking reason, because it's a GameCube game. But yeah, Pikmin 1.
We'll execute all of those resellers one day.
Can you talk about that real quick? I'll talk about Pikmin later. Can you talk about those fucking videos? I sent Jekrix another one. I forget if I sent you this. I know I sent you both the video of the guy who goes to like the half-price bookstore and then like buys all their Nintendo Power magazines to like resell on eBay.
Oh yeah. Because there's like $5 a pop, and then
Yeah, they're $5 a pop, and you say you
Bitch
could
ass.
sell them for at least 15. And
Yeah, I said that in the Watch Some Stuff server, and Ashley says that she's encountered him on eBay and like he jacking up all the prices, and she's like, "Sir, please, I'm trying to collect this shit."
it hasn't been like recent, but in the past like 15 years, and it's only gotten worse like during COVID. I feel like is these fucking people who think like old shit has inherent value, and therefore like they jack up the price. Like, remember when retro gaming was the cheap option and shit like Earthbound being like $200 was the exception? Now everything's fucking like $200 and Earthbound's like 5 million now. God, I'm glad that. I mean, I'm not glad that he bought all the magazines, but I'm glad that when he bought the magazines, he was like, yeah, okay, the estimated value, like the amount I spent was 360, and then the amount he could get was at least 300. He didn't specify. He's very vague about it. It's like, good, waste your fucking money. And what's worse is that it's all speculative. Half the time these people don't sell this stuff. It just sits on a listing for all this money, and it's like, oh, one day it will sell for this much money, but it never does.
I mean, I could list a US penny from 2020 for $1 billion, and it will eventually get bought, right?
Yeah, I hate.
Like Futurama time.
I know I sent Jekrix the picture of the guy who got his copy of Yellow, like his sealed copy of Yellow, sliced by the TSA.
Yeah.
That made me so fucking happy. So this guy, I guess, was transporting a copy of Pokemon Yellow that was sealed and graded, and TSA like obviously popped open because you could smuggle contraband through there, and he broke the case open, like the case was sealed in, and he sliced the cover of the box off, and he was like, "This was worth $3,000," and then some NFT guy is like, "This is why we should buy NFTs." But my favorite response is from a H-Bomber guy, where the guy's like, "This was a $3,000 game." He was like, "Well, actually, I think I bought that for 30 quid." It's like, yeah, these aren't $3,000 games. They retailed for like fucking $40.
That video of the guy who was just like looking through like all the magazines, just like, "Oh yeah, it's got Majora's Mask and Metroid." It's like going over it. It felt like gross.
Yeah, I felt dirty watching that.
Yeah, it feels like someone like going through like your toy chest and like going through like, "Oh yeah, the Buzz Lightyear thing. This will like make a ton of money."
What's the worst thing is that these people aren't doing this for like a love of the fucking medium. They're doing it because they're the kind of people who make fun of like wages, but they're the most like wage brain people around, who only see everything as a passive income, and they get no enjoyment out of anything else other than the amount of money they can make. Maybe it's a bunch of bullshit, and I hate it, all of it.
Feels like someone's like taken something from us. Like we just started another Gamergate. Not against like the made-up feminists who are ruining gaming. We just started against these fucking chuckle fucks that are ruining retro gaming.
And it's been an issue for like the past, I say, like 15 years. Like, there's a reason why game reviewers from like 2005 were all reviewing NES games, because those they were dirt cheap. They were all over the place, and anyone could build up a pretty decent NES collection of classics really easily. But now, if you want to buy those games nowadays, well, actually, there's a bad example, because the NES market has fallen horribly because no one gives a shit. But like, there's still people who are like, "I have a sealed copy of Mario 3, $5,000, please." It's just like, I could play this game for free. Literally, it's on NSO. I can emulate this. This game's been released 50 fucking times. Like, I don't care if it's a quote-unquote original sealed copy. That means nothing. It's just like speculative value.
I know video games are art, but it's not the cartridge that's art. It's what's inside that counts.
These people are like, yeah, video games are art, as in I could sell it for stupid amounts of prices for stupid rich people so they could hoard it in a fucking collection for years and never give it back ever. And that's why I love the Red Letter Media video about Nuki, where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna like take all our copies of Nuki, destroy it, and then put this one copy up for like thousands of dollars, and then donate the money for charity to like make fun of the people who are about like this speculative market and like limited resource bullshit for like VHS tapes that have been cropping up recently. It's like VHS tapes are worth nothing. They are a horrible format that got instantly obsolete once DVDs came out. The only reason you want a VHS tape is because you're a fan of the medium and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like you cannot sit there and lie that you want a VHS tape for like the quality or the authenticity, because they fucking suck. They are cheap plastic shit that are mass produced for a fucking reason. Like DVDs are just like a million times better.
Yeah. Like if you wanted like an analog format for quality, you would like watch it on like a beta tape.
Yeah.
Or God forbid you have like a laser disc that works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want like analog quality, you go for beta or fucking laserdisc. VHS is horrible. That's right, when people like upload VHS footage of like old commercials or shit, they look like ass, because it's horrible for preserving the fucking the video, because they are cheap things that were mass produced and sold for cheap, and all these fucking morons want to pretend like they're this like hidden treasure that are gonna be lost forever. It's like, no, most of like the classics have been fucking ported to like Blu-ray or like streaming. Even if they aren't, it's just like there are easier ways to watch these movies than on VHS. And it goes a million times more for gaming, because so many older games are like tiny files that you could play on literally anything.
Yeah. I was thinking about this with like the fucking Sega CD. Sometimes, or even like, actually no, I was thinking more like the Jaguar CD, because the Jaguar, the console, does not work.
Yeah. Like literally, it does not work.
But I was thinking like that means like it's like, I don't think there was any exclusives made for the Jaguar CD. I think it was all just like ports. But like if there ever were, then that means that like possibly that game, some of those games are like trapped on that system, unless like someone makes like an emulator for it.
The only exceptions for like games to cost a lot are for like consoles that were just doomed, that had like exclusives that cannot be played anywhere else. Like the Philips CDI, I get why all those games were expensive to begin with, because they're trapped on the Philips CDI. And shit like the Jaguar and like other such like forgotten consoles of like the 90s and 2000s. But shit like Dreamcast games going for a lot, when the Dreamcast is one of the easiest games to pirate. So much so that it caused the company that was making them to fucking stop producing consoles.
Yeah, you could literally pirate it on its own console.
Yeah, like, there's no reason games like those should be a lot when they're on a console that you could get those games for much easier. But that is my rant tangent aside. I want to go back to positive things like Pikmin and how much it's such a good game. I know Pikmin, especially recently, has seen its praises sung online a lot, and I think some people are getting tired of it, but it is a really good game. That it's a really short game. Like, even if you don't know what you're doing, or you play kind of like sub-optimally, you could probably beat it in like 6 hours. It is just like a cozy afternoon game you could like pick up and play and be done with it, and actually be like satisfied with the experience. And it is fun to like replay the game every now and then and really improve your like skills and like, you know, get that day counter like down. Like, I haven't played in a while, so my I did take like 15 days to beat the game when before I could beat it in like 12 or 13. But yeah, I still had a lot of fun. I would highly recommend. It's a shame that one of the easiest ways to play, which was on the Wii U Virtual Console, is not so easy anymore, because you can't fucking buy shit on that thing anymore.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
I I do not understand it because this is like
I thought it was gonna be like you could do the merge thing like you can with the 3DS. That's why I didn't mind not buying anything. Like when they said we're shutting it down.
I know it's all to like save on costs with servers, but it's just like, man.
But like, yeah,
man,
I can't buy anything.
When so much shit is stuck on the virtual console, it's just like, man. Like,
I wanted to get the DS games on the Wii U because they're like $10
yeah,
each.
like Pikmin 1 and 2 were like I think $10 or $20 each.
All the Wii games were 20 and all the except Metroid Trilogy, I think that was 23.
Yeah. Like they're all like the cheapest way to buy some of these games, especially Pikmin 1 and 2.
And like Xenoblade too. Xenoblade was only $20, and like the actual Wii one is pretty expensive.
To be fair, the Wii copy has been going down in price because Xenoverse. It went from being like this like niche RPG. They only had the Wii version, so now it's been re-released like 2 times now.
Yeah. And Xenoblade 3 is already out. I can't fathom that. Still, it feels like Xenoblade 2 is like really new still.
I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Until you remember that I was like an early Switch release, and the Switch is already like 5 years old.
Jigga has that 220 part Let's Play of the game.
Yeah.
The Switch turns 6 in 3 months.
Oh my
2 months.
god, you're right.
It was released in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yowza.
And
I still haven't picked it up, even though this is the Nintendo console that I wanted to play. I wanted to play Odyssey.
Honestly, Seth, I'd wait to see if they announce like a Switch 2, and if they do, I'd buy that, and if they don't, I'd just buy a used one for cheap.
See, that's been my thing this whole time. I've been waiting for them to make like the better Switch or the Super Switch.
But the most we got was the OLED, which is just, hey, now your handheld has a slightly bigger screen.
And a better kickstand, because the kickstand on the regular Switch sucks.
Oh yeah, that's the only 2 things that are better. And it's for some reason $50 more.
I don't even think the screen on the Switch itself is that bad.
Honestly, I know this is gonna sound stupid, but since I have an OLED and a regular Switch, and I've been playing on the OLED more because that's where I have my copy of Scarlet on it. Yeah, you could kind of see the difference. It isn't like massive, but the OLED screen is like better than the base Switch. I'll say that much.
I think for me, it's just like I prefer being oblivious, cause like I've been to like thrift stores and I saw like a 4K monitor for like $50, and I could have picked it up, but I'd rather not, and I'd stick with my 1080p monitor, because if I go to something more expensive whenever I want to change it out, or like the one I currently have dies, I would want to keep the higher thing, which is going to be infinitely more expensive than the lower end thing.
I mean, like, it's not fucking massive. I'm just saying, like, it's just a little bit better. Like, I know what you're saying, but like, I ain't trying to praise the OLED that much.
I know. I just wanted to say,
honestly, Seth, like, unless you really care about like the whole like handheld console hybrid thing, I'd honestly just pick up a fucking Switch Mini.
Yeah. A Lite. My sister has a Lite and she's happy with it.
I know it does have the issue that since the Joy-Cons are like stuck to the console itself, if the Joy-Cons go fucky, which they probably will because the Joy-Cons suck, it's a little bit harder to fix.
It'll basically be the Vita 2.
The buttons feel nicer on the Switch Lite than they do on the Joy-Cons.
Oh yeah, that is something that is the Switch Lite has better Joy-Cons than the standard Switch for some fucking reason.
Even though I have a regular Switch, I mostly play it handheld.
I've alternated. When I first had the Switch, I mostly played it in handheld, and there was a period where I was only playing in docked, and then now I'm back to only playing in handheld.
My brother exclusively plays docked, but I only play docked if I'm playing with a friend, obviously, or like playing Smash.
Yeah, I must say the only
whatever.
2 games the 3 games I played docked were Legends Arceus, because I felt like that game it deserved to be docked. Smash, because obviously I'm using like the Pro controller for that, and then when I played Monster Hunter when that came out, I played Monster Hunter docked.
For me, like Odyssey as well, especially because I was learning to speedrun that game, and I needed to record it.
Yeah.
I did submit a speedrun. I think I was like, I don't know, 800th place or whatever.
Hey, that's pretty
good.
Like, top 1,000.
It's probably like 12 or more now, because there's a lot of people have speedrun that game.
It's a popular speed
It's a pretty
game,
friendly.
yeah.
It's yeah. Like my take on Odyssey, amazing first playthrough. Post game very mid. Best game ever for repeat challenge run playthroughs. So like either speed running or putting some sort of limitation on yourself.
Yeah, I hope the
fun.
next 3D Mario game goes for a more like less of what's like the 999 moon shit, because it was fun. Yeah, like you said, it's fun the first playthrough where it's like exploring. It's like, oh, there's a moon, or oh, there's another moon. But when like you're trying to 100% it, all these like superfluous moons, they're like in like random shit. It's just annoying to get.
I love looking at a taxi in the distance.
Whenever we're doing like off time, we should look into like doing like races for games, like Super Mario 64 race.
Oh, I've done a Celeste race with my friend. That was pretty fun.
I would race Jekrix and Mario
like
64,
these are
but I only have.
These are games I've actually like speedrun though, like Odyssey 64.
Yeah, I don't
Celeste.
speedrun, and also the only version of 64 I have is the All-Stars version, which is the updated Japanese version, which patches out some of the speedrunning shit.
Patches up backwards. It patches out backwards long jump.
But
the expansion pass one is the original one.
Which is weird.
Yeah. Or you can just emulate it.
Yeah, but then
when I speedran it, I played it on the Wii.
I have the original cartridge.
That's actually pretty cool.
I do too.
I really want an N64. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's such a weird console.
N64 pretty based. It's like, for me, it's the definition of nostalgia is the GBA, but the second definition is the N64.
I agree. This N64 was a little bit before my time, but I remember seeing like my cousins like having like the controllers around. I remember seeing like the controllers at McDonald's, and I always get like nostalgic.
Oh
like,
yeah, I remember playing Mario Kart 64 on those like McDonald's like PlayStation things. Not like
for
PlayStation,
me,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, the kiosks.
Yeah, the kiosks. There you go.
For me, it's like, cause the consoles I had that we could play with together is we had a PS2, but like no multiplayer games, and we had a PS1 with only one controller, and also not really any multiplayer games. We didn't have a GameCube because we couldn't afford one, and so we had an N64 and a GBA. And we shared the GBA, and my siblings and I played Mario Party and Mario Kart and Smash 64 a lot together. So like to me, it's just like very nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like even though when I was playing it, it was in the era of like GameCube, late early Wii. It was really nostalgic. I didn't get a Wii until a couple years after it came out.
N64, like it wasn't like the big thing when it came out, but it did cover a niche at being like the multiplayer console.
Yeah, Nintendo was like for two like systems in a row, it had like 4-player multiplayer like built into it.
Yeah.
And both times like Sony, like you had to get add-ons to have like 4-player multiplayer.
Like
multi-tap.
Like fucking like.
Oh, fun fact! You can connect exactly 7 PS3 controllers to the PlayStation 3.
Exactly.
I don't believe
7.
any game utilized that. Yes, exactly 7 at a time, not 8. And I don't believe any game utilized that.
That's funny.
Resistance with its 60-player people.
I mean, like online games, yeah, you could do that.
Not
but, like,
even PlayStation Battle
but
Royale.
on one console, you could connect 7 controllers.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, like the N64 had like 3 Mario parties, a Smash, a Mario Kart, GoldenEye. Like it had a lot of fucking the stadium mini games. It had a lot of really good multiplayer shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Diddy Kong Racing. How did I forget that?
So in case you have no idea what's going on, here's the brief little story. Insert clip of like all the cancer and memes that Skylar had on his computer. Bitch, come over and race some karts.
I just gonna be quoting that fucking old ass Happy Fun Time video.
Yeah.
Shut up. Okay, so that leaves. What else have I played this year? Talking about Fire Emblem. Okay, there's 2 more things that I want to talk about real quick, and one of them is it was on the 3DS, but I'm playing the version on Switch. Is this little like indie game called Witch and Hero. It is pretty fun. It's this like I don't know how to describe it. It's like this little like arcadey like game where the goal is like there's a witch that's frozen in stone and you have to protect it from like a horde of monsters coming in, and you're the hero, which is a little knight guy. And combat is like how it is in like Hylics, where like when you hit an enemy you like run into it and you both take damage, and you know hitting the enemy from behind deals more damage to the enemy. And you have a health bar, and when it goes to 0, your character like gets knocked out for a brief moment, and then you have to like wait till he comes back up to like start fighting again. And the goal is just like survive the hordes until like the big boss comes, you beat that, and then you beat the stage. And it's a pretty short game. Like it was on the 3DS, so like it was made for like handheld play. And yeah, it's just pretty fun. Like I don't know, there's not much else to say about it. It is grindy for no fucking reason other than to like extend play time. And right now, I'm on the final boss, and I don't know if it's like, cause there's like a level up system, which I don't know how much it affects like your overall stats, but like I'm guessing it affects something if you're leveling up. And there's also a shop which you could buy upgrades to your attack, defense, and speed, as well as like upgrades to like spells, which the witch can cast when you like collect enough monster blood, and like which briefly mobilizes the witch, which she throws projectiles for a little bit, and it's either like a fireball or a tornado. And you can buy upgrades for all those things. And I'm maxed out on all those things, but I'm not maxed out on the character's level. And the fucking final boss has like a million different phases, and it really just feels like an endurance round. And I don't know if it's just like maybe I'm not a high enough level, even though I'm like level fucking 47, and the experience is already like at like you need like 20,000 for the next level. It just feels like I just don't have enough health to beat it, cause like the boss is the first stage is like he just kind of like, you know, appears and disappears, and they like, you know, teleports around the map, and it has like 3 different attacks. One is nothing, where it just stands there and that's where you get like your easy hits. 2 is it stands there and it shoots fireballs, but they're pretty slow, and you could avoid them pretty easily and get some hits. And 3, it like bounces around the screen and it drops little pools of like acid, and if you touch the acid you take damage. And that's the first phase. It's pretty easy, but it's kind of easy to take like little chip damage from like little acid puddles. And the second stage is the boss gets bigger, and it stays stationary on the middle of the screen, and it shoots an endless barrage of fireballs that also home in on you. And you basically just have to like run circles around the boss, and you just get little pot shots in until you whittle it down until like the next fucking phase happens. And it's really easy to get like hit by a fireball because they come out really fast. And you do that for God knows how long, because it's pretty fucking slow. It is like an endurance round. And you go on to the third stage, where the boss just teleports around again and shoots fireballs. But the fireballs are still fast from the second phase, so again, it's really hard to get hits in. And if you manage to get that, then you get on to the next phase, where it shoots laser beams, and the laser beams bounce around the stage, and it shoots like 4 at a time, and it shoots them constantly, so the screen gets filled with laser beams pretty fast, and they're really hard to dodge. And I can't get past that. Like that's the farthest I've gone. And I don't know if there's more phases after that, but fuck, is it like an endurance round, and it kind of like brings down the whole experience when the rest of the game's like this fun, like pick up and play really quick, like little arcade experience, and then the last boss is this fucking hellscape of endurance round for no fucking reason. If it wasn't for that, it'd be an easy recommendation because it's also really cheap. It goes on sale a lot. But
the game is like decide like, all right, no more fucking around. 20 round boss, let's go, one life.
Yeah, it's really stupid. The rest of the game is really fun. Like it's super short. Like you could probably beat it probably faster than Pikmin. If it wasn't for the grind, you could probably beat it in like 3 hours. Honestly, it wasn't that fucking boss, I would have beaten it already. But yeah, and then other than that, I've played the recent release, and I've streamed it to Jekrix before he started, Pizza Tower, and that game fucking rules.
So awesome.
It's a Wario Land inspired like platformer, where the goal is that you're exploring this tower, and you just like collect pizza ingredients, and then once you collect them all, you like race through the stage again with a time limit. And you just do that for a bunch of stages, like in Wario Land 4. And it's just really good. The animation is super fucking fluid. It looks like hand-drawn almost, but it kind of has like this MS Paint.
MS Paint.
If you ever seen, I forget his name. I think it's like Miles Young, like the animator on YouTube. If you've ever seen some of his cartoons, it has that same art style. Like this like really cartoony MS Paint, like rough, like quality to it, and it's really good. And it's really fluid too. Like there's so many frames of animation, but there's a lot of frames, but still fast. Like the game is like super fast. It feels like a good speed game. I only played it for like 30 minutes because it just came out. Like literally just came out. But I've been following the progress of its like development for a long time on Twitter, and that's why I was excited to play it. And yeah, I only put in a little bit of time into it, but I can already tell it's gonna be easy game of the year for this year. But who knows? I mean, the Return to Dreamland remake is coming out next month, and that game looks really fucking good too. So I don't know.
The Return to Dreamland remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wii game.
Yeah, the Kirby game
is getting a remake on Switch,
and it's an actual fucking like
shit.
remake. Like, they redid all the models, the backgrounds. They added a new ability. They added a bunch. They added a bunch more new mini games and shit. Like, it's an actually honest to god remake, and not like the horseshit like something like Atlas pulled at the P3P port, where they just like AI upscaled the whole game and it looks like shit.
This is what happens when I like delete Twitter. I don't know. I don't hear anything gaming news.
I mean,
so like
good. Twitter's dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
P3 Persona 3 Portable came out recently for all consoles, right? Yeah. And for the upscaling, it was just like AI upscaled all the textures and shit and looked really fucking bad. Yeah, there's the new deity model for Return to Dreamland. It looks really funny. It's based off his off his Forgotten Land design.
Yeah.
I like this DDD. He's so pudgy.
Yeah.
It looks like the
an actual penguin now.
It's like the DK64.
Yeah, it's
DDD,
what it's based off of. Yeah, it's so good.
which is my favorite. Yeah. I said DK64, Kirby 64.
No, King Dedede, my favorite Donkey Kong villain. He probably fit in Donkey Kong. He's got that vibe to him.
Look at this guy.
Let's make it like that.
The boy.
What's everyone's like favorite DDD?
This one.
Honestly, yeah. This one or Forgotten Land, yeah.
It's the same design, but this one's low poly.
So therefore, this
I'm
one.
still partial to the anime DDD who just has a southern
That's
accent.
fair.
The southern accent really
Yeah, that's fair.
adds to it. I know he doesn't have it in the fucking Japanese original, but man.
I need the monster to get that there Kirby.
I like how Meta Knight is. What, he has like a Spanish
Yeah,
accent
he
or
sounds
something.
like a bootleg Antonio Banderas.
And it's funny because like the music is still like Spanish themed in the Japanese version too.
And they
like his
actually carry that on in like some of the games. Like he kind of has like an accent in Brawl.
Yeah, he
But
does.
it goes like hi.
Yeah, it's not nearly to the extent as in the show, obviously, but
Yeah, I mean, cause I guess they try to portray him as like an El Zorro type character.
mhm.
I mean, it fits him.
That's not what I expected, but I'm so happy it is. Like when I first heard his voice, because I had played Return to Dreamland or Nightmare in Dreamland before that. Before I had seen the show.
I mean, they came out around the same time. The Nightmare in Dreamland
Yeah.
ad in America just uses animation and designs from the anime. And then
Yeah.
these castle design from the anime is what gets used for like a lot of the games afterwards. I know it's literally in Squeak Squad is literally the same design.
Yeah. In fact, like you fight him in like the reactor that he uses like to get the monsters transported.
Speaking
to
of Squeak Squad, that's the only game where S. Cargoon shows up and he's in the Kirby Quest sub game.
Is that the little rat dude?
No, S. Cargoon.
No, the snail.
snail.
Snail? I don't know.
His fuck.
Hi,
Yeah,
I'm
King
afraid
do
we're
these fucking
overflashed
like
with all the monsters.
little lackeys.
the little yeah.
You know his snail goon, S. Cargoon. You fucking
I don't know
moron.
the name.
It's literally the French word for snail.
You think I know French?
Yes.
Escargot is literally like
Why?
the one French word that gets used in English a lot because it refers to the dish. You're fucking.
I don't know what it means rat. Or
You're
snail,
stupid!
Or what?
You've been sniffing too many coffee beans.
He turned on his gas stove and huffed the fumes to own the libs.
Actually, that reminds me. Last week, I accidentally snorted stevia.
Why? Why you like this?
It's not. It was an accident. I was like, I was working with my coworker, and she said like, whenever you make one of the drinks with stevia, do you ever get like a strong smell of it? And I was like, I don't even know what it smells like. So I opened up a packet, put it by my nose, sniffed it a bit too hard, and some of it went in.
You're stupid.
Yeah, my coworker was laughing for like.
I
2
would
minutes.
too.
Not 2 minutes,
fucking
a minute.
put in a laugh. I'd tell every customer that went in and was like, hey, this fucking moron sniffed stevia. We got a fucking stevia sniffer right here, boys.
Oops.
You're rubbing fucking powder off your nose. Your boss comes in and is like, Jekrix, what are you doing? It's not what it looks like, I swear. I'm just huffing stevia.
Mr. Lokan, I'm afraid you've taken too much of our company's product. You're out of here.
Too much of the product. We literally give him for free.
To the customers, not their employees.
I'm a customer if I'm on my off day.
But you weren't.
I could have clocked out.
I'll fucking clock you out, mister.
Please do.
Is there anything more you want to talk about?
Let me look through my list.
He's got a list, he's checking it twice.
Cause your kiss is on my list.
What the fuck is that from?
So
All on notes.
There you go.
my most across both Steam and my Switch, my most played game was Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel because I played it almost daily for most of the year. And then I slowed down a lot.
Oh,
I still play it like
so. Yeah,
a lot.
I was the same for like the first 6 months, but then I dropped off hard, and I haven't played it since. It's still a good.
I did not drop off.
It's still
hard.
a good card sim. It's just that I think I just got tired of Yu-Gi-Oh for a bit. Like, I wasn't vibing with the format, especially since I was playing in like the higher tiers. So I was playing against a lot of the same decks, and they're not very fun to play against. While I was trying to play my funny little frog deck, which I can't play anymore because Master Duel just
Rest in peace,
just banned
Toad.
Toad for no fucking reason. So I'm never gonna play the game ever again now.
Are they scared of like of Sprite or something?
I think that's it. They're probably gonna add Sprite soon.
Preemptively banning, I don't know how I feel about that.
Just let fucking people play with full power just for a little bit. See if it is necessary. And if it is, then you could ban the funny little frog. But
cause Master Duel has Max C.
yeah, Master Duel has fucking Max C. And it had Union Carrier for the longest time too, and that barely did anything.
That just got banned. Yeah. It still has Anaconda.
And it had Aurora Dawn and Hulk at full power for a majority of its run.
Yeah, Jet Synchron is still legal.
Fucking isn't Old Lion still at 3 too?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, all these fucking busted ass cars, the Fleur, fucking DPE, fucking Dragoon. But no, the funny little frog. They hurt my boy. The only deck I had fun playing. If you're gonna talk about Yu-Gi-Oh,
Play Skull Servants.
If we want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, can we talk about Kingdom Duels?
My favorite.
Okay.
My Time Wizard format.
Context.
That's the case. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
We're gonna be a while.
You could go ahead, Seth. We could just talk for a bit. Now it's the Yu-Gi-Oh podcast, boys and girls.
Real.
So for fucking context, right? Kingdom Duels is this fan-made format where some madman decided that he wanted to try to replicate the rule set that was used during the Duelist Kingdom arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! And try and make it so the wacky shenanigans he pulled off, where they pulled it out of their ass, could actually work within a rule set similar to like standard Yu-Gi-Oh play. And so what happened to me, Kingdom Duels, and it is a lot of fun. It's both very low power and very high power at the same time. It's a very volatile fucking format with a lot of
every monster is an effect monster, which I really like.
With a lot of interesting decisions in terms of like effect and balancing and deck building limitations.
They clearly put a lot of thought into it, but
I think
fuck Thunderball.
The biggest issue is because obviously the cards they wanted to make existed before the format because of their context within the Duelist Kingdom arc. So they had to make a rule list around cards instead of making cards around a rule list.
Cards around a rule.
So it kind of hindered some of the potential the game has. I feel if they ever want to expand and either make their own cards or make cards based off of other stuff from other parts of the anime, like later on, like in Battle City and such, you could probably get a really good game out of this. But as is, it's still like a fun little side format to mess around in.
It's really fun, and there's a lot of weird interactions that can happen. The main thing, I think one of the big things that makes it so different is just not being able to direct attack.
And also,
like,
so
I
much
think
of
that's
the
a
rule
huge
set
change.
is based off of the honor system. You just have to trust that you and your opponent agree on how cards are played, or
Trust me, bro.
Trust me. It is really funny.
They just, that stupid ass card that you drew first turn every time, where you lose turn after, lose game after 6 turns or whatever.
Which is literally just like final showdown, a final countdown on the monster card.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, the monsters, like, it was a monster effect card, right? So like, was that one you could just use on your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb.
No, that's great. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Are you back, Seth?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
Okay, well,
you came at the perfect time because we're already done with our little Yu-Gi-Oh spiel.
let's see.
Hooray.
The next game on my list, my second most played game on Switch was Assassin's Creed 3. I replayed that and almost 100%ed it.
Nice.
I played it as, I think I was like 14 or 13 or 14. I played it when I was in middle school, and it's still pretty fun. I do like Connor and Hyphen. They're neat characters. The plot kind of drops off, like it gets less interesting as you go on.
When it becomes like more about like the Assassin's Creed lore.
Yeah, I found the relation of Connor and just him trying to find himself and like the thing with his father interesting, but like when it just became the Creed lore, I
I
didn't
think
really
it's
care
funny
about it.
that
Yeah.
as the series progressed, they just completely dropped the whole like present day like shit that they had is just assassins in ancient times.
Cause that's cooler.
That's what people
Yeah,
play for,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, like we're here for historical fiction, not for like modern melodrama. Let me tell.
Yeah.
I said it before, but playing Assassin's Creed 4 and suddenly I'm in an office building was such fucking whiplash. I had no idea that was part of the game at all.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed 4 also gets like a little bit less interesting, but
it's
when-
gameplay. It's fun just to play,
yeah.
but Assassin's Creed 4 is the better game, but like I wasn't enjoying it as much as 3. Probably just because I played it right after. Because when I was younger, I played 4 like a year or two after I played 3.
Mm-hmm.
So there was more separation, but like I jumped into 4 right after finishing 3, and I was like, this is fun and all, but I'm kind of getting tired of this, and I don't feel like it.
There's like Penny Parker had like a thread where she was like playing like the Assassin's Creed games like one after the other, and I'm kind of bonkers at that. Like these games could get pretty repetitive, right? Like I don't know how you could play like them like rapidly, one after the other.
Yeah.
The ones I'm interested in playing is like 2, Unity and Odyssey. I've heard Unity was like the best with its like stealth mechanics, but I've also heard good things about the one that's like in Victorian times.
I just did 3. I just got 3 and 4 because those are the ones I have played before, and I just wanted to replay them. I don't really have too much interest in playing the other ones though.
I've never played an Assassin's Creed.
You're not missing that much.
No, I'm missing everything.
You're missing the Creed.
All that epic Creed lore.
And my third most played Switch game was the SNES thing, and I'm pretty sure that was mostly due to A Link to the Past. Because earlier this year last year I guess, I was playing through that. I played the GBA version, but this was my first time playing the SNES version, and it's fun, it's cute, I really like it. I like it more than I remember, actually.
Yeah, that's one I would really like to get into.
Yeah, it's pretty good still. I think like some of the 3D Zeldas, I know for a lot of people can be hit and miss. Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, etc. But I think the 2D Zeldas are all pretty consistently like good.
Yeah, the only one that's polarizing is the Zelda 2, The Adventure of
But that's its own like separate.
That's
beast,
just a
yeah.
different thing.
I kind of
yeah.
wish.
I like Zelda 2 though.
I kind of
but
wish the like.
they took a third direction with.
Yeah, I
it.
kind of wish they'd like
they had the top
revisit
down
it at
and
some
then the
point.
sides.
I mean, there are those segments in Link's Awakening where it goes to
Awakening.
D, but it still controls like the top down.
But it's like no more than like 3. I think the most it has in a single dungeon is like 3 rooms in a row.
I think there are a couple times in the Oracle games where it also goes like 2D for a bit, but like yeah.
Those ones I haven't played.
And
so I
but
don't
they
know.
still like technically control like the top down stuff. Like I don't know. I mean, I get there are like 2D RPGs like Xanadu and like other games like it where you
Rambo.
yeah, where you tactically can play like Zelda 2, but Zelda 2 like actually controls really well. Like the combat, the game's like super good for like a fucking NES game.
Yeah, that's a game I would like to get really into. It's just
Zelda 1?
well, yeah. Also Zelda 1. I recently hooked up my classic NES, so I play like a little bit of Zelda. Like I want to get into this and like see like what all those nerds in the '80s like how they got
Okay,
into
but you
this.
can only
Yeah, it's
play the
cute.
game if you listen to the Zelda rap at least a couple hundred times.
Damn right. And also, when we play Link to the Past, you gotta play like that like Japanese commercial where they're all dancing like "Deru deru."
That's for Link's Awakening, you
Oh,
fool.
No, that was Link to the Past.
That was Link's Awakening. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Who cares? It's a good commercial.
You're both wrong.
Yeah.
But I know the one you mean. I don't know.
No,
the
it is
story
Link's
there.
Link's to the Past. You're right, because that's Ganon in it. Yeah, I'm wrong. You're right.
The other SNES games I played on Switch that like I put a decent amount of time to was Mario Picross based game, very fun. Picross is just fun.
yeah.
Oh, did he have the S?
It's the
Yeah.
Japanese one.
Did he have that on there?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
pretty fucking
that's-
awesome.
it's all in Japanese, but like I don't need to read anything because I know how to play
Yeah,
Picross.
there was that one. There was the Mario and Wario Picross. That I think was also on Game Boy.
Yeah, that's on the Switch Online. It's SN.
Oh
on the
no, I
SNES
think
one.
there was a Mario Picross 2 on Game Boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that was Japanese exclusive too.
Oh, that's something I want Nintendo to add. Give me my GBA games.
There's been rumors
on
that apparently the Pokemon company is gonna add Ruby and Sapphire to the Switch, and if they're gonna do that, it's probably gonna be through like a Game Boy esque NSO
like Switch
yeah.
Online thing, like that. Like, I've been hesitant on getting to the Switch Online, but if they added GBA games, even though it's piss easy to pirate and I do it all the time, I would pay for it still. Cause like I liked, like I said, GBA is too nostalgic.
Also,
for
like
me.
now that the Virtual Console is going down, there's a lot of shit that you can't play anymore. Like especially the eShop, not eShop, e-reader exclusive Mario 3 levels that are on the GBA version.
Oh, they were in the Wii U
Yeah.
port or Virtual Console, but yeah. Anyway, the third SNES game I was playing a bit was Earthbound. In my list, I wrote boring and bad.
Jekrix, can we
Aw.
just get this on the podcast real quick? Would you say YiiK is a better RPG than Earthbound?
No, but it's more interesting, so
No,
I liked
no.
it more.
Jekrix, admit it. You love YiiK,
Like I don't know, I got bored with
but
Earthbound.
you never got bored with
How
YiiK.
far?
Therefore, it's the better
I
game.
mean, I
How
got
far?
I got frustrated with YiiK, but that's because like it is. But I also could just like kind of just go through it.
How far
Earth-
into Earthbound did
yeah,
you get?
I was about
Not very.
bringing up like Earth.
Not very far even.
Jekrix, the issue is that he also never really got that far. Yeah, you didn't even get Paula, I think.
No, I got the bike and I rode around on that and I found it funny and I just kind of got bored. I didn't really give it enough of a chance.
I don't
so-
blame you. When the first time I played Earthbound, I only got up to on it, and then I got bored. But then the second time, I actually played through the whole thing, and I enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, I was in Tucson.
Yeah.
Tucson.
You really do like once you get
But-
Paula, the game does start getting fucking good. You literally like stop playing once the game starts getting interesting. Like you were right up to where you could get to the happy village.
I mean, I like that I could like get a guy to sell things on command.
I think
That
I
was
think
about
if you
it.
did,
Oh yeah, I love that little sign.
yeah, the for sale
Yeah.
sign's pretty good. There's a lot of quirky. I know quirky indie RPG tee but like Earthbound has a lot of interesting ideas that even if they don't get fleshed out a lot, it's cool to mess around with it.
I'll give it another chance eventually.
I think, yeah.
Next on my list, I have Metal Gear Rising and SMT3 right next to each other, because I was playing them at I basically started them at about the same time. I've already beaten Rising though because it's much shorter.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And I was telling James like, wow, they have similar themes.
Yep.
In terms of like changing the world and stuff and going different directions and stuff. It's like, wow, that's so cool.
And playing both of them at the same time is the objective best way to experience both games.
Yeah, they work so hand in hand. They're so similar to each other.
God bless.
Who's your favorite boss in Metal Gear Rising?
Sam.
Yeah, Sam's good.
I was gonna say, like,
it.
mechanically or,
Just-
like, in terms of character, because in terms of character, like, you can't be Sundowner, man.
Yeah, but in terms of like, I'm assuming you're saying like actually fighting. It's Sam.
I mean, in character action games, some of the best boss fights are, like, the rival fights. Like,
Yeah. Well, they clearly put a lot of, like, they dedicated one whole mission just to the Sam boss
Yeah.
fight.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas every other boss fight is at the end of a mission. Which I'm thankful that on mission replays you can choose just the boss fights so you can mess around with them. But still. I actually started a so there's easy, normal, hard, very hard, and Revengeance difficulties. I didn't know this, but very hard and Revengeance actually changes the enemy placements and like what enemies you're fighting.
which I think
So
should be.
is the way to do difficulty.
We talked about this in the first time we recorded the podcast, but I hate when difficulty in video games is just inflating health numbers or the damage enemies do, and not like actual interesting like changes with enemy patterns or the type of enemies you fight or when you fight them, because it supplements difficulty for tedium.
Yeah, that's why I like I obviously talk about Kingdom Hearts a lot, and I really like its combat. That's why I like normal mode. I do not like proud mode, but I really like.
I know
critical
it's
mode.
gonna sound fucking stupid, but like it's embarrassing when fucking Kirby's Dream Land has a better difficulty mode than most fucking games. Like, they change the enemies. Like, they do, like, you do, like, have half health and you heal for less with items, but, like, they change the enemies, they change their patterns, they change boss patterns. Like, they change a lot in that difficulty mode, and then more so than, like, other difficulty modes in that game, like compared to, like, Super Mario Bros., where it's just, like, every Goomba's now a fucking, Buzzy Beetle. Isn't that fucking difficult? Like, no, it's just stupid and boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Kirby's Dream Land actually has a kind of difficult like hard mode, like for like a game that is pretty fucking easy. Like, I mean, it's the first Kirby game, and it's a Game Boy game. You could beat it in like 20 minutes. Like the hard mode is actually kind of a fun challenge. It's still pretty short, but like, man, it's actually hard, and they actually gave a fuck.
Yeah.
It has better hard mode than most of the Kirby games.
Yeah, I think that like if a game doesn't change how boss fights or enemy patterns behave, it should at least have the mechanical depth where having the inflated damage numbers will drive you towards actually learning the game, because that's how Kingdom Hearts does it. Because you could beat the game just smashing X, whatever. That's how everyone does. But playing on critical mode, and especially level 1, first off, critical mode does boost your damage a little bit to 1.25 multiplier rather than a 1 times multiplier. But it also starts you off with more abilities to get you through some of the more difficult things. And it really, having the higher damage number is fine, because it forces you to still play in a different way by learning all of the game's actual mechanics that the game sucks at teaching you, honestly. The Kingdom Hearts doesn't teach you shit about its like in-depth mechanics, and it's very in-depth. But yeah,
It's for architects like you, Jekrix, to discover everything.
architects.
I mean, what's it?
No, fucking architects.
I build buildings now.
Archaeologists.
Archaeologists.
Yeah.
You're getting further and further from whatever word Seth's trying to find.
It is archaeologists, like you're discovering like a lost.
It's for agnostics like you, Jekrix, to figure out the game.
I'm talking about a video game.
It's for acrobatics like you,
Gaming.
Jekrix, to figure out the game.
Gaming is a disease, and I will cure it.
Gamers should be oppressed.
So true.
Anyway, let's see, what's next on this list? Quantum Break, I played that. Do you guys know what
No.
that is?
I kind of know.
It was like, it was made from the people who made the Max Payne games. It's like this, like, movie game hybrid type thing. So, like, how it works is that you play an episode of the game part, and then you make a decision, and then you watch an episode of the show, and then it goes back to the game part, you make another decision, watch an episode of the show. And it's like 5 episodes, so 5 gameplay segments, 5 episodes to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this big time travel story. It's pretty interesting, and I think it's pretty fun. But I also just think it's like fun to play. It's like it is a cover shooter, and generally I find cover shooters kind of boring. But this one utilizes the time mechanics in an interesting way. Like, you can stop a pocket area, shoot a bunch of bullets into it, and create basically like a huge pocket of bullets to heavily damage one person. Or you can pre-fire an explosion, pause that area and wait for it, or you can dash into someone, and it's a lot of like time stop stuff, which is really fun. But it's a neat game. It's a fun story. That's about all I can say. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. It also has something to do with Control, right?
That's also made by the same people. It was made before Control.
Mm-hmm. That ends up being like spoilers for Control, but it's one of the things that I heard about it. Like, there was like something, it had something to do with Alan Quake.
From Alan Wake.
Alan
Wake
yeah.
is a different game. It's not, but it's also made by them.
Alan Quake
so
is
many
Alan
fucking
Wake,
Allens.
but in the Quake engine.
So yeah, I played that. I was playing through Deus Ex, Human Revolution. I got through like about, I don't know how far, probably like half or 3/4 of it. My brother said I got a pretty decent way through because he had played it on the PS3. It's fun. At first, I found it boring.
Did you ask for it?
I didn't ask for it at first, but now I do ask for it. It's fun. I like it. But I stopped playing it once I got my Steam Deck, just because I wanted to mess around with other games, and then I just haven't gone back to it since.
I'd honestly like to try and play the original Deus Ex.
I tried. It's an old game. I'm sure I could get used to it, and I feel like once I do get used to it, I would try it. But like, just as a pick up and go, you can't just immediately hop in. You have to really change the way you play.
I need to like watch some tutorials and like maybe like watch like how someone else plays it for a little before I get the hang of it.
Yeah. Next on my list, I played through Far Cry 3, 4, and 5. I had already played through 3 and 4 on the 360, but this was also my first time playing 5. And I kind of just binged through all of them. They're fun. 3 is probably still my favorite.
That one has Nacho Varga as the main bad guy.
Nacho Vargas. But yeah, like, 3 really delves into the insanity motif, and it kind of just feels like 4 and 5 are trying to just capture that. I think 5 has the least interesting story, but I do like all the villain is the highlight in the stories, and I still like all the villains.
Yeah.
But the overall story of 5 is just you're just a dude going about on your own business. 4, you do have some ties to pagan men, but it's still like I didn't like because you could choose between two different people, and they were just kind of bickering.
Yeah, you meet them at the very beginning, and neither of them endear themselves to you.
I killed both of them at the end.
If that's the case, maybe I should play that, because
both of them suck. I like Pagan the most.
Yeah, I've read some people say that they actually consider the secret ending to be the canon ending of the game.
Yeah, cause both of them are assholes. Pagan, he's obviously corrupt and a piece of shit, but all of them suck. But Pagan's the most interesting, at least. And I can understand where he's coming from, but the other two are just needlessly bickering and going for self-gain, and obviously Pagan is too, but I don't know. Pagan's at least funny.
It's the trope, jerks are worse than villains.
Yeah. But 3 is my favorite, because just seeing the character development of the main character go from this super nervous, scared guy and into being this maniac and stuff. It's really interesting, and I think whether a game is from the first person or third person's perspective doesn't always necessarily add or detract, but I think Far Cry 3 specifically is a game that is better for being a first person game. because for one, you can see the tattoos growing on his arm, which is representative of his delving deeper into this maniac that he's becoming, and parts where some of his body changes and you see that in the arms. The way he talks changes throughout the game, where at the very beginning he's timid and scared and doesn't know what to do, and then later he's laughing and hysterically and just enjoying the thrill of killing. But then later on, when he's talking about it to someone, she shows how scared he is and stuff. And it's everything about that game is very intentional, and I like it. But yeah, I recommend it if you ever get the chance. Yeah.
Do you recommend Far Cry 4?
4's fun.
Okay, I might actually pick that up, because I tried playing it years ago, but I was like, I don't want to go around the mountain. Fuck this game.
Yeah, there is a little bit of just mindless exploration sometimes. But what I do, I would just hunt in the game to pass time. So I liked going places on foot, even though it was much farther. I didn't even use a car all the time. But if you find a paraglider and stuff, you're fine. And also in 4, you can buy the wingsuit, which makes you travel faster. 3, you only got the wingsuit halfway through the game. The wingsuit is kind of plot relevant in 3, which makes sense. But 4, you can just buy it, and money's easy to come across.
Yeah.
You
could also ride an elephant, right?
I didn't do that very much. I liked the way I like to play was stealthy and with explosives, which sounds counterintuitive, but
Are you a demo man main in TF2?
No, I mostly play engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, the AI in the Far Cry games are simple, but they're fun to mess with, and I really like how adaptive the world is. If there just happens to be a tiger that's chasing you down and you lure it into a base, you can use the tiger to help to fight the other enemies and stuff, or things like that. And it's very dynamic in the way the game works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I remember there was this one time I tried throwing a grenade over a wall, but it bounced and killed me because it went into my face. Anyway, I have Robots GBA.
Yeah!
Best game ever.
So
I
true.
do not have to elaborate.
Jekrix Lokan's fucking random robots hyperfixation for a month.
It was. I feel like it was more than a month.
Probably 2. Yeah, we watched
Yeah.
Robots
Watched the
on
movie
Call,
together.
which is honestly that movie still holds up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I love Big World.
Other than like
Big World was my profile picture like just a couple months ago.
for a while, yeah. Other than like some of the fart jokes, the movie still is really fucking good. Rest in peace, Blue Sky, and fuck Disney.
Yeah.
So true. Also, rest in peace, Robin Williams.
I mean, I went out without saying.
Oh.
The fucker's been dead for like a million years already. Like, of course, rest in peace. Blue Sky just died like a year ago.
I know I probably sound crazy, but like the Robots GBA game is good. It's fun. It's like I don't know if it's like kind of a Metroidvania, not really. It's like I would call it a linear Metroidvania. Like cuz you do have to backtrack a little, but most of it is still just going forward and stuff. But I like the building mechanics and like the jumping and I don't know.
It's like a
fun to
puzzle
explore.
platformer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with like a combo system. and also to get between the sections you play Sonic 2.
Yeah, it's the Sonic 2 half pipe. Yeah.
Special stages. Yeah.
All this to say Rodney Copperbottom can solo Dante any day.
Honestly, yeah. It's better than it should be. Like okay, maybe it's not good. To me, I
I
still
know
really
we've
like
talked
it.
about
but
this a lot, but like in our own calls, but like I really do miss the days of the double A license or like just smaller budget like developed games that we don't really see it very often just because of the rising cost of game development makes making those games in a similar quality kind of hard to do. And while indie games kind of filled the niche, obviously indie games have their limitations for being smaller budget, and with smaller teams you can't accomplish certain things with those without the games taking way too long to produce. And yeah, you really just don't get games like Robots for GBA or a lot of like licensed games that people look back on fondly.
Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, like THQ
on GBA.
Nordic is kind of like with the what's the new one they're developing called? The new SpongeBob?
Cosmic Shakedown.
Other than that, like you can't really name something similar. There are a couple indie devs that have become a little bit bigger. Way Forward and like yacht clubs have gotten big enough for like the games have like a significant amount of budget behind them where you can like qualify them as I guess like double A. And they're all like smaller devs, like even stuff like Atlas I would say is kind of like a smaller game dev. But Atlas is now like a part of Sega, and so they have a bit more budget to them. So I don't know if that's a proper thing to call them, but anyways, like you really don't see like
They're 2.5.
yeah. You don't see those kind of games anymore, and the GBA was a very popular system and definitely had a lot of those.
Yeah, I think the GBA was like the prime like candidate for it. Because it was still mostly 2D stuff at the time.
And it was before the huge like casual push that came with the Wii and 3DS era. So it was
and it was like relatively cheaper to produce as opposed to say like the Vita, which was probably really expensive to produce for because
and even the DS because
it was comparable.
The DS was like a slightly 3D console. Like you could do like very low polygonal games with that.
Yeah, and on the DS, there wasn't gonna be like anyone being mad if you did still make a 2D game.
Also, there's a lot of incentive to push gimmicks with that console, with the dual screen and the touch screen and stuff like that.
Microphone.
Yeah.
And the fucking Vita had touch screen, touch
back
pad.
Yeah, the back touchpad.
Front and facing camera and like a back camera. It was basically developing like PS2, almost PS3 game for like a handheld.
Which a lot of smaller devs just couldn't handle, which is why the Vita lacked a lot of support, which is why it died a horrible and painful death.
I can respect the Vita.
The Vita is a good piece of hardware. It just released at a bad time.
Fucking, I apparently have a character based on the PS Vita now.
Your one OC. Or not even your one OC, you have a couple now.
I hate that. Apparently.
Jekrix, I know this is gonna be a shock to you, but anytime someone creates a character, that's an OC.
Weird.
Mario is Shigeru Miyamoto's OC. You have to just accept that. Every character is an OC to somebody.
Damn.
Here's the thing. It's an OC until you release it.
It's an OC until it becomes successful. Then it's everybody's character. Then it's the people's character.
Yeah, exactly.
Your character, our character.
Unless you're Toby Fox, in which case Sans still is OC, and you can't take that away from him.
Okay.
No matter how much of a Tumblr sexy man you make him.
All right, the last one I want to talk about a bit is Persona 5 Strikers. That game is badass, but the reason I want to talk about it is because just after playing Persona 5 Strikers, I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, and I was like, holy shit, this is the same plot. Like, unironically, they have very similar plots and themes, and I actually like Reigns. I'm like the single Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns fan on the planet. That's untrue.
I follow this one Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creator called Shiggies, and she's also avid Reigns fan and super into Decode Talkers.
The Simp Destroyers. Yep. But like, Reigns feels more like it takes itself more seriously, but like it has more reason to, because its story is just more interesting compared to Zexal or whatever. I think Reigns might be one of my favorites. I don't know which Yu-Gi-Oh! I like the most. It might be GX.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you can't beat GX, man. Did fucking Playmaker duel a monkey? I don't think so.
I think I would rate it GX, Reigns, 5Ds, Duel Monsters, Arc 5.
Does Reigns have Chaz the Chad Princeton? Does it have Majomi Thundercock? No, I don't think so.
No. But Reigns is like way better than it should be. You can tell they didn't have a good budget for like the first half of the season though.
And I'm surprised they had a good budget for the second half, because no one fucking watched that shit.
And like, Reigns actually has like decent female characters, which none of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows do. Like, barring like season 0 Anzu, then no female characters are good in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I hate that.
I've sent you that fan art where like Taya says, "Me and Yugi cry out the pharaoh's name during sex."
Yeah.
Like the first like 30 or so episodes of 5Ds, Aki's is a decent character, but then she becomes Yusei's cheerleader, and then there are like 3 female characters who their personality is the wanna fuck Jack Atlas.
Yeah. I think Alexis could have been decent, but
she
I think her voice
way
kinda
too
sucks.
quickly became like fucking Jaden's little
irrelevant.
Jaden's little sim.
It's same with Bastion.
Well, they just did Bastion dirty. Like
Yeah.
I hear he's done better in the manga, but I've never read the GX manga.
He should. I'm pretty sure the GX manga is completely just like a different plot altogether.
All from GX onwards, all the mangas do different things because they're adaptations instead of like the source material.
Yeah. Which I like, but yeah, Bastion is just a simp. Cyrus is a simp.
Every character in that
Chaz is a simp.
Even Chaz is a simp.
Fucking Jaden is base until he becomes a simp, but then he's gay, so it's fine.
Simp. Everyone simps for him. He has a fucking.
Everyone simps for him, but actually, yeah, Jaden is like rejects everyone except Jesse and Yubel.
Yeah, because Jesse's gay and Yubel's a fucking like hermaphrodite space alien demon, and who doesn't want to fuck that?
Yeah. GX is way cooler. Season 1 is okay. It's a kid's show. Season 2, I hate the Society of Light. Season 3 and 4, I like. Season 0 of base Yu-Gi-Oh! I think is... I don't know if I rate it higher than GX.
It's kind of different.
It's completely different, yeah. But I really like Season 0. It does have problems with it, but I really like it.
Mokuba is like one of more evil than Kaiba.
He's just a little shit. I wouldn't say he's more evil. I like the way he dresses, though. It's funny.
Panel in the manga where he forces Yugi to eat a plate of spaghetti. That's my fucking profile picture for PayPal. It's Yugi eating a plate of spaghetti and he's like sweating bullets. Yeah.
I really like Season 0. Miho is a mistake.
That's because she literally only exists in the Season 0.
No, she does exist in one chapter of the manga for some reason. And I don't know. I go back and forth on if I like Season 0 Honda, but Jonochi and Anzu and Yugi I like, and Season 0 Yami Yugi, best character ever.
You're just a little fucking gremlin. You want some murder things.
I love him. I like him way so much more than Duel Monsters
and
Yugi.
His fucking theme is badass.
So good. The music in general is pretty good.
I like how this is you're supposed to be talking about strikers, and you spent this entire time talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, I wanted to talk about strikers just because I wanted to say its plot is the same as Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, which is so funny to me.
You thought we were going to talk about strikers, but we're going to go on another Yu-Gi-Oh! Tangent.
Yeah, because I wanted to talk... Because, literally, on this list, it's all Yu-Gi-Oh! For, shows and movies I've watched. It's all Yu-Gi-Oh!, Invincible, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, and Looney Tunes show.
That is a very wide palette of cartoons.
Yes. I have not watched any movies this year, I think. Because that's all I could remember watching.
You should have watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie.
Yes.
Actually, no. DSOD is on here. I did rewatch Darkseid and the Bonds Beyond Time. I haven't rewatched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie yet.
We should all watch that together.
It's really good.
I have it on DVD. I have all the
Google Drive and share it with us.
I think you actually really like Darkseid.
Darkseid is it's unironically good.
If you like the Kaiba stuff in Pyramid of Light, you'd love Darkseid because Darkseid Dimensions League still Kaiba the movie.
It's Kaiba the movie.
He's the main character.
Yeah,
basically.
I think I would.
Bonds Beyond Time is cute.
You probably wouldn't like Bonds because it is Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan service.
If you don't, it is Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan service. I like how Yugi contributed nothing to that duel.
No, he let Jaden fuse off one of his magicians so he can make that shitty Neos fusion.
Yeah, Jaden had all the back row stuff, and Yusei did all the monster stuff. So
he was there for moral support.
Yugi was there. Yeah, he was there for Jaden to use his spell card to get out Yugi's Karibo.
Don't want to freak everyone out, but I looked at our.
Oh yeah, we've been recording for a long time. Yeah.
I've noticed. I don't know.
Fine.
Sorry, it's extra long episode. It's only a year until the next one anyway, so a lot to tide over.
I mean, that's what you get when we don't record for a year. We want to try to talk about everything in the past 12 months. I knew this is gonna be a long episode.
Yeah, I didn't even go through all the games. I didn't talk about Neon White, which is also really good.
We could do that next time.
Yeah, I didn't talk about Vampire Survivors, which I was gonna show to you today, but Pizza Tower, yeah. I'll talk about Vampire Survivors next time because I will keep playing that because that game fucking slaps.
That's our incentive for making this a regular
also
thing.
Twilight Princess. I think I forget if we talked about it in the actual recording or not, but
I don't think we did. I just said I spent $70 on it.
We all have a copy of Twilight Princess. I know you have the Wii U.
I have 2.
You have the Wii U version.
I have the Wii and
I have
the
the Wii
one.
version. Seth, you have
the GameCube version.
The GameCube?
Okay, so we have all 3. We have all bases covered. and we're
Yeah.
gonna be playing through it. And I guess like every month, or just come back here and talk about where we are on the game and our thoughts about it.
I mean, I already know I like the game. I don't know what
Yeah.
you. I know James doesn't like it.
I know I hate the game, so Seth, you're gonna be the intermediate here.
I actually have the Wolf Link amiibo. My brother bought it.
That thing's fucking
So I could
expensive
use
now.
it. Yeah, he bought it like day one.
Do you have like the Ganon one, which like makes it like absurdly difficult?
No,
Is it just his Smash amiibo,
I don't have the Smash amiibo.
or did they make another Ganon amiibo that I'm just unaware of?
I think there might be a Twilight Princess Ganon amiibo.
Wouldn't
where,
that just be
like-
the Smash one? Because
No, his
uses that.
Oh
design.
yeah, no, because they made the Ganon amiibo.
Because they meant the
yeah,
Smash
for
one
Smash
when
4,
it was
yeah,
Smash
which is
4,
his-
so it would still be his Twilight design. So it's the same. It would be that one. I think that's the only Ganon
Yeah,
amiibo.
yeah, Ganon's not exactly
Yeah,
a
he's that-
merchandise seller.
Old
I think
man.
If you use the Ganon amiibo, like the enemies like become a lot harder to kill and hit harder.
I don't know. I mean, the game already has like a built-in hero mode where you take double damage. And
Do that hero mode with the Ganon stuff on top of it.
I was gonna play hero mode because the world is flipped, and I'm used to the Wii version where the world is flipped.
Oh, is the Wii U version based off of the GameCube version?
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's based on the GameCube version, but when you play hero mode, it flips everything, so it's like the Wii version.
That's such a weird
Um,
thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed. I can't play it with the Wiimote and nunchuck, which is like how I prefer. I prefer like pointer aiming rather than like I don't dislike gyro aiming. I do like gyro aiming, especially with the gamepad. Gamepad's a very comfortable controller. But I still prefer Wiimote pointing, and I would think that they would put that in as an option, considering the game was a launch title for the Wii, but I guess not. That's kind of crazy that both the Wii and the Switch had a cross-platform launch title with Zelda,
and there's been rumors.
and both of them are the most successful.
There have
Nintendo
been rumors,
consoles.
and I'll preface rumors, so it probably may or may not be true, that when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, it might also be a launch title for supposed new console.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's been long enough. It's been 6 years. That's usually the lifespan for a Nintendo console.
Let's see. Wii U released in 2011 or 2012, and the Wii came out.
Oh, I'm not counting the Wii U because that thing came and died.
No, I'm trying to think because like if that's when the Wii U came out, I'm pretty sure the Wii came out 2006, so that's about 5 or 6 years. The 64, or no, the GameCube came out like 2000, 2001, so that's like
Yeah,
also 5
2001.
years ish. 64 I think was 96, which is about also 5 years. So yeah, like 5 or 6 years between. I know the Wii U's
Crazy
dead.
that
You don't have to
they-
remind me. I look at it I see its corpse in my shelf every day when I'm
The
actually
poor
home.
bastard. We start wrapping things up then. I think we've talked about everything we want to talk about.
Yeah, and whatever we didn't, I can...
It-
Because I would like to talk about Invincible, Mystery and Corbett, and the Looney Tunes show, but I'm a little tuckered out.
Yeah.
I need to take a shower.
Stinky!
Points and laughs, stinky.
There's like a burger shop that I'd like to go to that closes at 4 o'clock.
What kind of
And you gotta
fucking
shower for it.
burger joint closes at 4?
I think it's just like a lunch place.
So,
Breakfast burgers.
I feel like
It like
It must be a small place then, I'm assuming.
there is
Yeah.
this
It opens at 10:30 and closes
when
at
I
4
used to
o'clock.
work
Uh,
in the suburbs at the pizza joint. One time, I get out at like 1, basically at 1 a.m. and I took the train, and it was, by the time I got there, it was like 2 in the morning. This tiny little burger joint by the fucking train station open 24 hours, and they serve some bomb ass burgers. I haven't been there since or before, but that was some good shit. You just think talking about like
Because, you're not there anymore.
talking about
so-
like burger places. It was a pretty funny interaction. I went there, I paid for the food. I took out my wallet and I paid in mostly singles, And the lady, the cashier, she's like, "Hey, do you work at a restaurant?" I'm like, "Yeah." Why do you ask? It's like, because they pay you in singles, and I was like, you got me.
Yeah, real. I usually end up with like I trade out my singles from the register at work.
You steal money,
Um,
basically.
I put in 20 and I take out 20. How's that stealing?
So you're stealing money. I'm gonna report this to your fucking manager. And he's gonna be like, haha, lol.
Okay. Okay.
Take that, fool. You buffoon.
I don't know any local burger places cuz like I know a lot of local Mexican places.
You
'cause,
walk to Burger King and then you walk back
SoCal.
home from Burger King.
like where I live, it's like there's tons of local Mexican places and tons of local Filipino
It's
places.
almost like if you, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like that's the population of where I live.
I sent you guys that
Oh.
video. I walked to Burger King and then I walked back home from Burger King. Yeah.
You have.
No, I definitely sent it. It's a literally like a 5-second parody of that one song. It's like, I walk a lonely road and it's the only one. Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
yes.
and the guy
I
is
remember
the
now.
guy, and he just walks to the Burger King. He's like, I walked to Burger King, and he turns around, and then I walk back home from Burger King, and that's the video.
Yeah. I don't know. When I think of 5-second video and like walking, I think of a gay little run that pisses
That's
you
a
off.
good one too. It's like it's a Jachi's run cycle.
In Juness, and you just hear the little end of the jingle.
I mean, he does
the
do a gay
background.
little run, and it does piss me off.
Every day is great at your Juness.
All right.
I hate Persona.
Me too.
Eternal Punishment's pretty good. Innocence great. It has Hitler in it.
Yo, base.
And his weapon is the spear that the Romans used to pierce Jesus.
Yeah, that's like a conspiracy theory that Hitler had obtained the Spear of Destiny to become like 10 times stronger.
So much that where he fucking blew his brains out. And on that
You could've
note,
just gone to camp.
Hitler was a pussy. He should have gone out and like 4 miniguns and gunned down the Russians before like
Wolfenstein.
before like some guy like knifed him to death.
as Low Tier God said,
Yeah, Wolfenstein. You can kill you can kill Hitler with a knife in Wolfenstein.
as Low Tier God said,
Yeah.
Hitler should kill himself now. He serves zero purpose.
You-
Also, like how you could kill Hitler in New Colossus, but that gets you killed because you get gunned down by everyone in the room.
Yeah, because you should kill yourself. Your life has no purpose.
Oh, okay.
Did I stutter?
Keep it up, Mata.
That, to me, is perfect refried beanness.